thinking now. But yeah, we'll have.
Yay!
Yeah. Right, everybody. Even though there's no one watching right now because oh no, there is.
Oh, there is. Oh, that's me.
Yeah, all right. Well, all right, Captain on the re-rub.
Hello.
Yeah.
I'm live and on the re-rub. Hello, me of the present. This is me of the past. Hello.
Well, got a stream where Captain give me the old can we do a stream and that, so I was like yeah we'll do one and that, and Captain, he had the thumbnail and the topic, which was called so many dumb cunts. It was probably, but
I wanted to say dumb cunts, but YouTube might
yeah,
not like that, even in Photoshop.
yeah. So Captain, give you the floor.
Hey, great, and I can wipe Tony with it. Or I can wipe the floor with Tony, one of the two. Yeah, basically, well, it's interesting you said the word rants, Jens, because one thing I've realised is 2 shows ago, that debate we had about the word canon, and then several shows ago, that big debate I had with that guy that came on about Star Wars and whether it was called Star Wars or not in 1977, which is very relevant because, of course, today or yesterday, depending on when you are and where you are, is indeed the 48th anniversary of the release of Star Wars. We can get into that, but basically, facts are facts, and George Lucas can lie to you all he likes. George Lucas can try to be Big Brother from 1984 and rewrite history, but I'm here to put a stop to that Empire level shit. A New Hope was not released until 1981. So the film released in 1977 is called Star Wars, and was called Star Wars until, pay attention, 1981. That's not debatable. That's a fact. And yet I have been debated on that as recently as in the last hour on YouTube and then Twitter.
Now, well, I'll back you up on that, because it was one of them where they didn't even know there was going to get a sequel, because they just called it Star Wars. There was no point.
Exactly. Exactly. They didn't know exactly, Jens, because even if Lucas had written all 3 or all 6 or all 9 movies back in 1973, which he didn't, that's demonstrably a lie. Even if that was true, they couldn't make 2 more movies until they knew the first one was a success. And that's why Star Wars wasn't called A New Hope in 1977. And it didn't have the number 4 either, because it was a one-off movie. Now, there's a bigger debate to be had as to when the sequels were written. So it is Star Wars Day. So, I mean, here's a clue. It is a fact that Harrison Ford refused to sign up for Return of the Jedi until after filming on Empire Strikes Back had wrapped. That's why Billy D. Williams, he's not Lando Calrissian, he's the new Han Solo. That's why he's wearing Han Solo's clothes, or indeed Han Solo's clothes. See what I did there? At the end of The Empire Strikes Back. Family Guy noticed that Lando is cosplaying as Han, but I figured out why. And that was a message from George Lucas to Harrison Ford. If you don't sign up, you're going to get replaced. So in other words, the entire beautiful story of Han Solo being frozen in carbonite wasn't planned in 1973. It was written that way by Lee Brackett, not George Lucas, because Harrison Ford wouldn't sign up for Return of the Jedi. Obviously, spoiler alert, he did in the end. So the beautiful story of The Empire Strikes Back is actually largely thanks to Harrison Ford, and it's got fuck all to do with George Lucas. So George Lucas demonstrably has been making it up as he went along. Something not even mentioned on the anti-disestablishmentarianism Jill channel on their 3-hour special on Star Wars, or indeed as it turned into how Scotty pisses off the other panel members. He lost 2 with his constant sex talk.
Heterosexual talk.
But anyway, I'm getting away with myself, because what I was going to say is when I was saying that Star Wars in 1977 was called Star Wars, that guy that I haven't heard of or heard from before or since. Remember, he came on and started shouting at me and said that nobody saw Star Wars in 1977 and it wasn't really released until 1978. That's true for the UK, but it's not true for New York. So if you live in buttfuck Idaho, that's your fault. But the point is that he came up and shouted at me for 20 minutes. So, of course, I shouted back. But not only was he wrong, the point is it was a straw man. I wasn't saying how many cinemas Star Wars was shown in 1977. I was merely pointing out the simple fact that it was called Star Wars in 1977 and was not called A New Hope until 1981. So in hindsight, I realised that your friend coming up and shouting at me for 10 minutes, then me taking the bait and shouting at him, was completely pointless because everyone knows, or at least he does, you do, DVB does, even Tony does. Even Jill knows that Star Wars in 1977 was called Star Wars. So, in other words, all that shouting was for nothing. So, it's not just ranting about pop culture today, although that's my main rant. It's actually ranting about ranting. I've realised that although it's quite fun for me just to shout obscenities at a complete stranger on the internet at the top of my voice for 10 minutes or 3 hours, it's good fun. It's good therapy for me. I love it. I always feel better afterwards. But I don't think it's very entertaining for Jens or DVB or arguably the audience. So my rant, this rant is about ranting. No more ranting, no more shouting, no more talking over other people. It's not worth it. We should be able to simply point out facts and debate opinions or express opinions in a calm, open manner with fun, joking, prodding, and sarcasm. But actually shouting over people, especially complete strangers when you haven't established a friendship, I've finally realised is not conducive to entertainment.
I don't know. I don't know. It depends how long. If the shouting goes on for too long, then it can get a bit boring. But a nice good 5 minute fucking shout up. I
I
like
mean, it's
it.
definitely good fun,
Yeah, well,
but
it's like from Jeremy Kyle and Springer. You know where they'd let the guests fight for that fucking 2 or 3 minutes, and then they'd calm them down because it was like, we don't want to be fucking the show just one big fucking brawl. Although some of the episodes did turn into that.
yeah, I mean, it would be better if we were in one studio so we could actually have physical fist fights. I'd be all up for that.
You know most of these fucking YouTubers, they'd be fucking quiet as a church mouse if they was in a fucking room with fucking someone looking at them.
Exactly. 2 hits, me hitting them hitting the ground. So, but if they want competition, what can we do online if we can't fight? A game
It's
of
3
chess?
hits, isn't it? It's I hit them, they hit the ground, and the ambulance was hitting 90, getting them to hospital.
And no doubt the police these days. I know the police
Oh,
don't care
yeah.
about physical violence, they only care about hurty words. So as long as I don't insult them as I knock them to the ground, it's fine. But
Yeah,
yeah,
well,
so therefore that guy that came up, and then not all the people, Tony obviously was polite, but the other 4 people, the complete strangers that came, I didn't even realise there were 4 of them until
no, I think it was all right. Shavia, number 4, he was some.
yeah, the calm English guy. Yeah,
Yeah,
correct.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the calm limey was good, but he was highly patronising, and what
Oh,
he
yeah.
said also made no sense. Oh, but Captain, surely just shut up, you limey.
Well, thingy, I went on he,
On their show.
yeah, because the one that was called Ninja Bear, he's
Mm-hmm.
I think that was just like an a. Well, it's not his channel name because his channel name's
Boring fuckwit.
something easy in it. But
Yeah,
anyway,
easy
they
E.
call him sort of like easy because I think.
Speak easy.
But it was that Bricky.
Should
Bricky,
be
he
called
had
Speak
a
Difficult.
channel. Yeah, well, I went on in that, right?
Yeah.
And
They were doing philosophy, weren't
the
they?
debate got quite good because we started talking about AI and all this shit. And I was trying to tell them about fucking these humanoid fucking robots that they're making that can like fucking do really well, they're trying to get it to do really delicate shit, even though up to now they can get it to like open curtains and fucking stare a fucking pot and that shit, you know. But
Well, so far they can do hazardous exploration in the outer colonies.
yeah, they're pretty good. As long as it isn't too delicate work, they're pretty good. You know, like fucking slamming a fucking hammer or something. They'll be real good at that because it's not all that delicate work. But once it gets delicate, because it's fucking a machine, hasn't got sense of touch or
No
or
needlework or
yeah,
gentle
well, there's
foreplay.
delicate stuff. There's delicate stuff that it can't do because it hasn't got that sense of touch and that.
Right.
Yeah,
So
and
no
so
hand jobs off a robot.
no, not
It's a
right now.
basic
No,
total
they
model.
probably will fucking develop some kind of fucking, or they might have developed it already, but they're not going to fucking release it to the general public of
No,
like
until then you're gonna have to
robots.
make do with a rolled up pizza like normal
Yeah. Well, like I guess if you
with
stuck
anchovies.
a couple of marigolds on them, which is washing up gloves, you know.
Yeah, if you sit on your hand and it goes numb, you can use that. Apparently, so I've heard from other people.
Yeah.
Scotty.
Well, anyway, yeah, we were talking about that, but it was one of them where it got a bit sort of boring for like your average fucking Joe, and
It
so
did
yeah,
come off as kind of first year philosophy. Was it kind of like can computers have feelings or do
yeah.
robots have souls? It was one of those. It
Mm.
was like we've all seen Blade Runner.
Do
Boring.
robots dream of robotic sheeps or
Exactly. Do
androids?
robots dream of shagging sheep?
Yeah. Well, it got into like a could you make into like there was sort of like all right, and I think they came on just to wind us up and that, which the was winding you up, Captain, that you just fucking kicked off. You was having no shit.
That's right. I wasn't having it, and I was loving it too. That's the other thing I've
Oh yeah,
noticed on
yeah.
Twitter. At least on YouTube, people can misunderstand your tone of voice. It's called acting, dear. But when I'm arguing with people on Twitter, some people are like, "Oh, you're mad, bro." And I'm like, "No." And then
Mm.
they keep going at it. It's like, well, enjoy your delusions, laser brain. If you want to attribute fake made up emotions to me just because I'm snapping back at you, that's on you, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Well,
exactly. So that's the thing. It's shouting on YouTube. It's not really good for the brand. Like I say, I enjoy it, but exactly, I'd rather troll people with words rather than the volume of the words.
yeah. Well, me and you, Captain, we've been in fucking pubs where conversations like this goes down, and then sometimes chairs and bottles start flying.
Exactly. Well, it makes me think of Conan the Barbarian because Conan says the problem with polite society is everyone's very rude. What you need is to go back to basics. I'm paraphrasing young Conan, but
Mm.
basically, I think people are more polite when they realise that you could punch them in the face. I found
Mm.
debating time travel in the real world, which I occasionally do, tends to be a lot more polite. People aren't as rude when you're within arm's reach of bopping them on the nose.
Oh yeah. Well, it's that telephone tough guy syndrome, innit? It's like everyone, like Roy Chubby Brown's fucking joke, where he went, "Oh, I fucking told Mike Tyson to fuck right off over the phone."
There you go. Exactly. Do you know who? Do you know who I am? No. Good. Bye. Exactly. Because I think one of those four morons did actually say, "Oh, internet tough guy," and I was thinking, "Yeah, you get it. You're the one that started with the patronising, shouting, and the you got it wrong." So yeah, I think you're right. That's the point. They were trolling, but that's a lesson I've learned on YouTube and Twitter. Some people like to have debates about pop culture. Some people just want to argue and troll. But the worst kind of people, because in both cases they're honest. I like the honest troll, but the people that come up ostensibly to talk about pop culture, but actually in reality they just want to wind you up and troll you. That's dishonest, isn't it? So that's
Yeah, yeah. There is some cons out there that fucking usually it's because they get a bit confused in the debate.
yeah.
So to fucking entertain themselves, they just start an argument because it's rather that or they have to shut the fuck up and try and work out what the fucking conversation's about.
That's what it is. All right. So that's when people start acting up, it's because their brains can't follow the actual thread of the conversation.
Well, that's what I always think, because if I'm ever in a conversation and the conversation gets talking about She-Hulk or whatever in that, and I'm bored to fuck, and I'm not following it, I'll just start up fucking some other fucking shit. So we don't have to talk about whatever conversation I don't fucking want to talk about.
Just to get it off She-Hulk. You
Mm.
heard him, Scotty.
Oh.
So that's the key. Basically, I'm giving everyone a formal warning that when Jens very generously has an open panel, when new people come on,
Yeah.
I think I'm just going to stay silent until they've established themselves. I'm going to try not to argue with strangers, even though I enjoy it. It's not conducive to an intelligent conversation about pop culture and or time travel.
Yeah. Well, it's open fucking panels, open panels. You're guaranteed to have someone who's like, oh yeah, I'll go on an open panel, not to really discuss fucking any topics or get a conversation going, just to be a cunt.
Yep, that's you, Scotty.
Oh well,
He does it
no,
on Jill's show.
well no. To be fair to Scotty,
Yeah.
if the conversation's about him, he's
He's
not a
happy.
cunt. Yeah, it's usually when the conversation isn't about him. That's me, cunt.
I tell you what, Scotty has kept his rampant egotism, or is it egotism, basically under the radar for a good couple of years. But it is when he's talking about or claiming how much he knows about Star Trek that I'm like, oh yeah, okay, yeah. Do you want to explain City on the Edge of Forever? Having said that, on a side note, there was that show from a couple of years ago, Scotty VT, because you were showing Scotty's Twitter. So I went on, thanks to you, I went on to Scotty's Twitter. Blocks mean nothing now, Scotty. Anyway, and he was promoting Admiral Teague's show from a couple of years ago when Scotty went on to argue with Teague. And who's that pseudo intellectual moron? PDB. That's it. Too many initials, or too many people with three initials. And the guy that can look stuff up on the internet. So there was the two
There
of
should be
them.
only one dude with fucking three initials, and that's RVD.
Not DVB.
Oh,
What
well,
about PvP?
actually, it should be G, not JDV.
Actually, you're right.
Jean
So I'm
Claude
gonna.
Van Damme.
Oh, I see. So what do we call DVB? Citizen. I guess we'll just call him
Yeah.
Citizen. All right. So there's Citizen. There's Pleasant Valley Picker, and there's that other guy I just said, PBR. I've already forgotten his name. The pseudo intellectual, the guy that looks things up on the
PVB.
internet. BBC. I don't know. Anyway, but it was quite
PP.
interesting. I was actually in the chat. I'd forgotten I was there. But it turns out when Scotty, who doesn't know as much about Star Trek as he thinks he does, when Scotty was debating with Teague, not about Star Trek, but a mere battle of the egos, which of them knows more about Star Trek? Not Star Trek itself, just who's got the biggest Star Trek brain. And Teague
Yeah.
actually confessed that he's only watched 30% of the original, so not even New Trek, which a lot of people hate. He's only watched 30% of Star Trek, and he's claiming to save Star Trek. I'm afraid Scotty's got a point, because even
I
someone in the
probably watch
chat.
more than. Yeah, I probably watch more than 30%. I'm probably on about 45%, if not
There
50%.
you go. I mean, I've watched 100% of the originals, and well, yeah. I mean, it's maybe we should do a quiz or something. But yeah, the moment Teague, I mean, we should maybe
I
thank
thought
him for not lying.
Yeah, I thought we were talking about the originals, because I was going to say I've watched over half of the original series.
It does bring up a question about what's canon in Star Trek, because Star Trek, like Star Wars, there's so much of it. I mean, already we've agreed, which ties back to the four guest idiots that didn't have a clue about transmedia canonical verisimilitude. That means that Star Trek books and Star Wars books ain't canon. I ain't just talking about the EU in the case of Star Wars. I'm talking about the Disney books ain't canon. Why? Because they're books. They also retcon. Did you know that Poe Dameron meeting Ray happened in two different ways in the movies and the books. Even the Disney books have started retconning the Disney movies. It's
Don't
ridiculous.
blame them, though.
Well, I don't blame them, but the point is that retcons ain't canon. But now I've got two reasons they're not canon. I only need one, even if they didn't retcon the movies in the books, which they did. Books ain't canon because they're. Anyway, the point is, forget the Star Wars books, forget the Star Trek books, forget the. Well, do we include a cartoon? But this is the point. What is canon in Star Trek? Because I would say it's only the first
Well,
3 seasons of the OST.
I think one of the cartoons based on the original writer fucking had something to do with original cartoons. I mean the
Original script.
Original series of Star Trek cartoon, should I say?
Yeah, it's one of those things that's a debate. Now, I haven't seen the cartoon, I haven't seen a single episode, so I can't comment. But I think it's a question mark. Are they canon? But given that Chekhov isn't there, apparently Walter Koenig, who plays Chekhov, write that down, Scotty. That's valuable information for you. He wrote one of the episodes of the cartoon. So what? He wasn't fucking in it. So because of the absence of Chekhov, I would say no. It's not canon. But it's up for debate. But some people say, you're gone.
I would say it's one of them where some people think it's canon, but Chekhov was on holiday.
I mean, for me, well, whether it's canon or not, I mean, TNG's the obvious one because that's the thing that came up next, or maybe the movies. I guess almost everyone agrees that the Star Trek movies are canon. But then again, but I don't think Star Trek 4 is canon because it spits in the face of Edith Keeler, as you all know. But it's called Club 732. I might have that number wrong. I'm not claiming to be an expert on Star Trek, a casual fan. But Professor Briggs called it, and Clobby called it Club 732, which is all the episodes of Star Trek. It's the OST, TNG, Voyager, just everything up to, but not including the new shit. And I don't know.
STD.
Yeah, exactly. STD. And I don't know. I'm happily ignorant. I don't know. I'm ignorant as to whether the cartoon episodes count in the formal Club 732. But basically, I'm in Club Tropicana, which is the OST. So however
I hadn't seen the cartoons, and because I'm not really a big Star Trek fan, but I've seen bits of them and that. I might
Teague, apparently.
But they are like the episodes, as in like there was written by someone, and like you say that Chekhov dude who played Chekhov, so there was written by people who fucking knew the like fucking Star Trek and that shit.
Yeah,
and so I'm sure, like, it might have been Gene Roddenberry wrote a fucking episode or two, or some ideas he had that, like, they couldn't do for because they were saying and all that they could do stuff on a cartoon, which they couldn't do in real life because it'd been too expensive for all the fucking
special effects. Like, there's a giant Spock, I think, in one of the episodes or something.
Yeah. And in them days, it'd cost some fucking millions to just get fucking an enlarged Spock. Nowadays, fucking, you can do it on your own fucking PC.
You can do it in Photoshop in about 3 seconds.
Yeah.
You don't even have to hold the shift key these days. It constrains the proportions automatically. Fantastic.
Yeah. But back then, it would have cost so much that they did it in a, like, they could do it easier and a lot cheaper cartoon form.
So are you of the opinion, Jens, that the cartoon series of Star Trek is indeed the semi-official 4th season of Star Trek OST?
Yeah. Well, like, because some people do, I think a lot of Trekkies do fucking go with that opinion and that. And as I say, like, I'm not a real big Star, but I mean, Star Trek fan.
Well, it's a bit boring after a while, isn't it?
But thing with Star Trek is it's a more of a thinking man's fucking sci-fi.
Is it though? That's my issue with Star Trek. I think it's a show for dumb cunts. People keep saying, "Oh, it's science fiction." As recently as yesterday on the Robert My Burnett show, someone go, "Oh, Star Wars is a fantasy. Star Trek science fiction." Science fiction, Star Trek. Are you fucking kidding? With your beaming up and your beaming down, and don't make me go into the routine.
Yeah.
Because time travel's real, isn't it? You dumb cunts. Oh, and
Yeah,
the Q Continuum. That's a fucking documentary.
yeah. Well,
Anyone,
so
Jill, that says Star Trek is science fiction doesn't understand science fiction, Star Trek, or fucking physics.
mm,
It's a wackadoodle space fantasy.
yeah,
That's it.
but yeah, I'd say like there's some episodes of Star Trek that are pretty much just talking and that. Well,
Oh, in this century, we've learned not to fear words. So that's
yeah,
maybe that's the 20th question for my forthcoming book. Is Descartes a replicant? 20 canonical conundrums. Number 20 being Star Trek is the cartoon canon. Is it? Because I don't know. I guess I'll have to watch it. Is it
yeah,
available on
yeah.
physical media?
Well, I remember Jill. She did
I
a
remember Jill.
fucking thingy over it and that, and she was like fucking getting wet.
For Scotty?
No, well, the Star Trek fucking cartoon.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, she was pumped up.
Did she
She was
fall in a
like,
pond?
oh yeah, she was like praising its fucking like existence because I think there's only like 6 episodes or something.
Okay, because something that Scotty and Jill famously disagree on is whether the new shit Trek is canon. Because whether it's good or not is subjective, but is it
Yeah,
canon? That's the question.
yeah. I'll say it's not.
Yeah, probably
'Cause-
not, because it's mainly retcons. But see,
yeah,
this is the debate to be had.
well,
See,
it's canon. I think what they did was they made it canon, but in an alternative universe.
now this is, I like to complain about everything, but I think that's really clever because you can only do that in science fiction. Yeah, that is my favorite thing about the newer Star Trek movies is that they are officially part of Star Trek canon, but officially a different universe. Multiverse. All
Yeah,
right, citizen. That's right. It's
but
part of the Star Trek multiverse, citizen.
yeah,
It is exactly because Pine Kirk is officially, canonically, a different Kirk from the original James T. Kirk, played by
yeah.
who's that guy? Shatner. That's it. So Shatner Kirk is officially, canonically, a different person from Pine Kirk. That's Pine Kirk,
Mm.
Jill, not Pinewood Studios. So, or Pike, deliberately misunderstanding for passive aggressive effect, Jill. I know your game. Yeah, so you're right, Jens. It's a work of genius because that way you can enjoy a reboot of an IP that's still canon, but it's not going to affect the original canon. It's the multiverse canon. Exactly. I
Yeah,
love it.
well, that's what they did with Spider-Man, wasn't it? They was like, all
Yeah.
right, well, whichever Spider-Man you like, it's in our fucking universe.
Yeah, because there's 3 of them and they all met. Exactly. So a lot of people, like Tony, because he's copying Doomcock again, like to slag off multiverses, like time travel. Multiverses can be, often are, lazy writing used by a lazy writer to basically write themselves out of a corner. But that doesn't mean that all.
But I think multiverses were invented to bring back dead characters because that's pretty much the only way you can bring a dead character back without fucking being like, oh yeah, what voodoo.
Exactly, and to be fair, I actually listened to a Doomcock rant, which I haven't done in months, if not years, and that was his reasoning for not liking multiverses, and it makes character deaths meaningless. And I
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
agree with Doomcock in this. So that's why, if you use a multiverse to cheapen the death of a character, that is bad writing. But that doesn't mean that all multiverses stories are bad writing, because of course, if you ask anyone what their favorite episode of Star Trek is, a lot of them will say Mirror Mirror. What's Mirror Mirror all about? A parallel universe. That's right. Mirror, multiverse, mirror. Citizen 333. It's a multiverse.
Yeah. Well, as I say, I don't mind it because it's one of them where fucking I've seen a few films where they've fucking gone into like multiverses and that shit, like the Deadpool one, where
Oh yeah.
well, Deadpool and Wolverine. That's not the original Wolverine.
No, really? I haven't.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
I like.
Get this, get this right.
Right.
The original Wolverine died when he fought his clone self, saving that fucking
Bird.
X-23 or whatever. They're like
Okay.
little female Wolverine.
Yeah, bird.
Because, well, Logan, in the film Logan,
Yeah.
Wolverine dies at the end because he's an old man. And that,
Oh.
yeah, for some reason, he's he can grow old.
So Deadpool and
Well,
Wolverine is a bit of a
So,
misnomer. It should be called Deadpool and Wolverine B.
yeah. Because what happens is Deadpool tries to like get Wolverine, but is just the like skeleton because the beginning scene of because you've got to see. I went to cinema to see it. Fucking Deadpool Wolverine because like
Right.
the beginning scene is he's found the fucking skeleton corpse of Wolverine and that. And he's trying to like revive him, hoping that there might be.
What, with a healing power? Come on,
Yeah,
Wolverine, get your bones together, get some flesh on them bones.
yeah. But he's realised, like, no, Wolverine. Well, anyway, these like time slash universe cops that stop people going through time and different multiverses.
Keystone Cops, it's too late. You can,
Well,
but go on.
it's like multi-dimension time cops, yeah.
Yeah, the
Well,
time variance authority and all that shit.
Yeah.
Absolutely pointless. It's a new
Well,
anyway. Yeah, you can't change time anyway. You can't change the past anyway. We know this.
Yeah. Well, anyway, they come through a portal to arrest like fucking Deadpool. So Deadpool like just starts beating the shit out. Well, he kills them all because yeah, and he beats them to death and that with fucking.
Isn't that an arrestable offence too?
And that, but mainly using fucking Wolverine's bones because they're like still fucking titanium or whatever fucking his bones are made out of. Well, anyway,
so it's not actually. I'm glad I didn't watch it now. It's not actually Wolverine.
Oh,
but a different Wolverine.
It's fucking good though. It's fucking good. So anyway,
yeah,
Deadpool needs to get Wolverine back. Because Wolverine's the central fucking time core of like the universe or whatever, and it's
the central finite curve.
Yeah. Wolverine's character. Well, anyway, so because like I'm not quite exactly sure fucking if the world's gonna end or I think the people's gonna end his timeline because there's not a Wolverine in it. Well, anyway, cut long story short, Deadpool needs. Oh, you're a nipple, but anyway, you can hear me in that. Oh, it's not looking good. Oh, Captain, can you hear me? Anyway, I presume you can, but we can't hear you. Anyway, yeah. So Wolverine needs to be in their universe. So Deadpool. Oh,
yeah. Crumbs, there's two of me.
Yeah.
I cloned myself to prove your point.
And I was talking to your clone for a minute there.
Yeah, I'm Captain 2. No, that was the original. I'm the clone. Oh, see, I'm confused already.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so because Wolverine's dead in his timeline and that, he has to go into multi-dimensions to find a Wolverine. And the Wolverine he finds, because like there's like a little mini Wolverine who's about 3 foot high. There's Henry Cavill who plays like a Wolverine in that dimension where Henry Cavill
playing Wolverine?
Yeah. Oh.
What next? Rob Downey Jr. playing Doctor Doom? That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, anyway, he finally finds like a Wolverine that is pretty much like the Wolverine we know, but in that Wolverine's timeline, he fucking let fucking most of the X-Men get killed in a mission where he fucking fucked up. I forget how he fucked up, but he fucked up, and most of his fucking team members, if not all of them, died.
So he might as well. He wants to leave anyway. This is sounding very much like an early Rick and Morty.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah. Well, fucking, he's one of them multi-dimensional. So that's when Deadpool sort of like has to like fucking get this Wolverine to fucking be more like the Wolverine he knows, because he's like it's a real depressed Wolverine. And so he has to get him into more of a fucking angry fucking killing machine Wolverine.
Be more like my Wolverine. Hey, Wolverine
yeah.
Be more like Logan A.
Yeah. So fucking, yeah.
Oh.
Well, I was just saying, multiverses can work if you're fucking doing the writing good, and so like, yeah,
exactly.
depends on the writer. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
If it's just cheap, if it's just cheap, oh yeah, shit. So and so got killed. Oh, we need them back. Just fucking, multiverse. There we go.
Right, exactly. Like with the time travel and like with the reboots, they can be a bad way of saving yourself if you're basically a poor quality writer that has painted themselves into a corner, but not literally.
Yeah, but it's like a fight scene, isn't it? It's like it's gonna be pretty much fucking a standard fight scene, but as long as it's fucking done good and that, and obviously with Scott Adkins, the more fucking exciting, crazy fucking moves you do, like the better the fight scene's gonna be. But,
I guess so.
Yeah. But it's one of them where if it's done good, like fucking, there's no complaints. But if it's done badly, like fight scenes where fucking the actors don't even look like they've ever been in a fight, and
like
you can
Katy
tell
Perry on tour with her phoned in fucking lightsaber bullshit, running around like a muppet, literally like a muppet.
Yeah. So I see like the multiverse as being one of them tools where if you do it right, and that, like with Deadpool and Wolverine, where it is pretty much like taking the piss sort of like out of the multiverse while still using it to good effect, if you know what I mean.
Basically, people love them or hate them. They're either really good or really bad. Marmites. It's like Marmites multiverses. You either love them or you hate them.
I don't know. Well, not for me. As I say,
Yeah.
I'm one of them.
I love them.
Well, yeah, if it's done right and that, I love them. But if they're done terribly, like fucking this Superman, because this Superman's probably not the super, and so this is a sort of like an altered fucking version
Different
of Superman
universe.
where he's a side cunt.
Same with the Fantastic Four, isn't it? It's not the Fantastic Four, it's another Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Another universe in the multiverse, citizen. Multiverse. Everyone's
that's
doing
done
it.
badly. No, that's done badly.
Very badly.
If the multiverse is used to soyify your fucking main characters, and it's done badly. But if it's used to make your fucking characters be more masculine than that, which in Deadpool and Wolverine, that is the main plot. Well, one of the main plot lines is Deadpool needs to fucking get this depressed Wolverine to fucking man up. And so you know,
get stuck into some masculine action.
Yeah. And so like, that's all because his main mission of the fucking film is I'm sure he's got to save his timeline, because as I say, in his timeline,
is it a timeline or is it a universe?
Oh well, yeah, a universe sort of like
you just think I was paying attention.
Well, in his universal timeline, fucking
it's a universe. If it's time travel, it's a timeline. If it's not time travel, it's a universe. And if the laws of physics are different, it's a dimension. That's the way I see it.
Well, no, it is a
You're
timeline.
the one that told me to clarify my terms.
I don't think. Well, I don't think you can change. Well, all right, yeah. Well,
let's debate next time Simpson's on. We can debate, because you told me off for basically not clarifying the difference between a timeline, a universe, and a dimension. So I thought, well, challenge accepted. And I've written 2 paragraphs on that topic that are good to go.
Yeah,
The next
all
time
right, yeah,
Citizen comes on, because we
right.
do need to clarify our terms.
Yeah,
So, yeah, a universe in the multiverse.
yeah. In his universal fucking line of time, not a
Just,
timeline.
yeah.
Anyway,
Nice.
there isn't.
His uni mention.
Yeah, there isn't a Wolverine, and so the main mission for him is to get a Wolverine in, and so he can save all the fucking universe sort of thing.
So you could apply that
Of
to
the film.
Fantastic Four, because you're right, there's nothing wrong with having a different Fantastic Four per se, but I don't want a Fantastic Soy Four where basically Sue Richards is the leader and Reed Richards has been reduced to a mustache played by Pedro Pascal. I'm not down with that shit. Now, if they had a Fantastic Four where Reed Richards was actually played by Scott Adkins, I'd be down for that shit.
Oh well, no, I think Scott Adkins would be too masculine for fucking Reed Richards. I think.
Yeah, well, that's why they got Pedro Pascal. But I'm just saying, I
No,
like that fantasy better than the reality that's going to be hitting
no,
our screen soon.
yeah, but no, he's side as fuck. No,
Yeah, the Fantastic Soy 4. I ain't going to watch
yeah,
it. I mean,
no,
I'm out.
Yeah, I think someone was quite tall because in fucking Reed Richards like 6 foot or something.
Well, he's stretchy as fuck, isn't he? He could be
Yeah.
1,200 foot. I don't know what the upper limit is. I guess you're going to find out in the movie. But yeah, by default, exactly. And he hasn't got a fucking mustache.
No, which is fucking one of them where, as I say, I am not going to be watching it because
No,
it's
I think they just,
it's just
there's a theory that every other Star Trek film is shy. Well, I've got a new theory that literally every reboot of the Fantastic Four is shy, and each one is worse than the last. Because I do believe this is the fourth reboot of Fantastic Four.
yeah. Well, I think it's one of those where they don't want to get it right.
Well, then they've well done.
Oh
They've
yeah,
managed that.
yeah, they're definitely succeeding because like what it is
Why is that?
all these films they need to be shit,
Because
because fucking the powers that be don't want fucking people having good entertainment. Because if you've got good entertainment, you're not gonna be fucking willing to fucking kill babies for fucking.
that escalated quickly.
Yeah, well, anyway, all I'm saying though is the better the entertainment, the more people I've got things to do. You know what I mean?
Right. What? So if they give the people bad entertainment, then we're going to watch the news and start following their psyops. I'm so confused.
What
I don't
else you
know
got
what
to
to
do?
believe anymore. What to
Well,
think? What to watch?
well. If you haven't got good music or good fucking comic books or good films or good documentaries or good fucking
Novels.
food are out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna be pissed off, aren't you? And so yeah,
Yep.
you probably might fucking think, yeah.
You're right. I'm
Ow.
sitting here in my study looking at all my books and comics and vinyl and all that. So you're right. It's stuff to feed the
Where's the
brain when the
accident
internet
man?
goes
Where's
on.
the accident man? Fucking.
Well, as you know, I've got the graphic novel.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Where is it? Because if you haven't still got it, fucking, what happened to it? Do you give it away because it was too masculine?
No. Physically, I am getting rid of some comics. Actually, I'm getting rid of a few things, but streamlining the collection. But no, Accident Man. It's got a cover by Howard Chaykin. I ain't getting rid of that.
Know, that's why I know you bought it because it was rather the artist or the writer you fucking liked. It was like, oh yeah, I'm not ready to.
Yeah, because of Chaykin. Because I'm a Chaykin fanboy. I admit it.
Yeah.
I know, it's just lucky. Well,
it was like buying a fucking album of an artist that you don't even fucking like the music, but you like the artist.
Sometimes it's like that. Exactly. Buying a record for the cover. It has been done.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, you know, when you're a teenager, I remember being told that when I was 15. Oh, yeah, you like Madonna for the music. Yeah. All right, Captain. Or is it because she's on a lingerie on the record cover singing Like a Virgin? Tell
Yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No, you're
You
right.
know.
I gave it away. I gave it to my friend Rachel. Here you go. Have my Madonna cassette. Oh, you brought back a random memory there. Yeah, I caught myself buying a fucking cassette because of the cat. It wasn't even the vinyl. Tiny little picture of Madonna with a boy toy buckle on her belt. Oh, those were the days.
Yeah, with a fucking mole, even though it was
Yeah.
a sexy mole.
Apparently she was going to get her mole removed by plastic surgery, and then she found out that someone else was cashing in on her mole by offering fans a mail order mole that they could order and then stick on their face, so she decided to keep it. Of course, since then I think Madonna has changed her stance on not having a plastic surgery somewhat.
No, I think it's been removed, hasn't it? Because her face is so smooth nowadays.
Well, her face has been removed, there's nothing there. That's her arse. They pulled it over her head.
Yeah, it looks
That's
like.
not Madonna. She's more machine than man,
I
twisted and
know.
evil.
Yeah,
Darth
it's.
Madonna.
Yeah, there's so much plastic surgery that you just look like a smooth balloon.
Exactly. Too much surgery in Hollywood, but you keep doing it. It's like when they was that Salma Hayek. She's on. No, I don't know how much surgery she's had, so that might be a bad segue. But she's on. Apparently, I wouldn't know, on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and there's a lot of people on Twitter go, "Look at that, she's amazing for 58." And I was thinking, yeah, she's still 58. I mean, she's a bit old for breeding. You know what I mean? Oh, you look great for 58 because you've had surgery. You're still 58. Just age gracefully. Nobody cares in Hollywood. There's a boatload of 20-year-olds, or actually a yacht load, every day.
No, but
Yeah,
women, though.
sexist and ageist. What are you going to
No,
do?
but women
It's the
need to.
beauty
Well,
industry.
some women don't. And they can go on, but usually the women that don't fucking keep the looks is because they're good at acting. So they can play old women parts and that. Where
Well,
women
that's it. You hit
who ain't as
40
good
or
fucking
30 or whatever the age
actresses.
is in Hollywood, probably 25, and suddenly, bam, you're playing aunties and old women. Although that's another weird. Why do they get Sally Field to play Aunt May, who's meant to be an old woman or an old woman? Put the emphasis on the wrong part of the
But
syllable.
she had grey hair though. Give her a due. She,
Oh, well, that's all right then. So yeah, go. We're doing a few topics here. Yeah, is Sally Field canon as Aunt May? Not really. But she wasn't. Was she Aunt May from another universe? Oh, phew, we're back on topic because
well,
that was
I prepared her
canonically.
to the real sexy Aunt May. Or you're thinking, why hasn't Aunt May fucking got about 3 boyfriends?
Exactly. And then that would cause some confusion for young Peter Parker, unless
Yeah,
he's
yeah, well,
Miles
that's why
Morales.
Aunt May's an old fucking woman where she's fucking not after any fucking booty calls and that.
Exactly. Imagine that.
Suppose, well, Aunt May, I always thought she was at least in her 60s. Every time I saw fucking pictures of Aunt May, she's
Yeah,
got fucking grey hair.
yeah.
She's
Thin
like
face.
fucking at that stage where she's fucking probably not moving too quick. So she looked like she was in her 60s.
Exactly. Well, then now you
At least.
mention it, now that Salma Hayek is hot at 58, I think she's in her 80s. I have to keep pushing it back. Exactly. She should be getting older, not younger.
Yeah, well, some could like thingy.
Not thingy.
What's her name? Fucking Kim Cattrall. She was looking good in her old age. I mean, fucking Tina Turner.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
there's some people. Yeah, but well, there's some people that do look good till they get to
they
the
do.
70s or 80s
Yeah,
even.
and some don't even require surgery. Some it's just
Mm.
clean living and lots of exercise, apparently. But
Well,
my point is, you can't fight biology. I mean, they might be up for a bit of sex, but you're not going to get them pregnant, are they? The well, anyway, but yeah, the biological clock, folks. Once it's ticking, it ticks for a reason. If you ever had a woman in your life who's, if you ever get a chick in your life, Jens, either a girlfriend or a booty call or a friend or whatever, and she's a casual friend, and suddenly she's like, "Whoa, must get pregnant. Fuck me, Jens." That's the biological clock.
yeah, well, that's when. Well,
It
I usually
happens.
wear condoms, so
Well, that's the one bonus of trying to get someone pregnant. Free
yeah.
license not to wear a condom. Casual sex with sluts, different story.
Yeah.
Now, 6 months into a relationship, I'll leave that up to you. Of course, anyone
Oh,
growing
well,
up
I've
in the
never
mid
got
to
that
late
far.
80s, it was all nuclear war and AIDS, wasn't it? We had wearing a
Mm.
condom drilled into us before we were even teenagers.
Yeah.
Don't die of ignorance. AIDS. Oh, this is going to be great for our next 1830. Fuck this.
Well, I'm not saying I'm hung like a horse, but
But,
I am hung like a donkey. So I found it fucking easy
oh, you can
and
get condoms in
fucking
3 sizes, Yen. Small, medium, and bullshit.
yeah. Well, like
And now
fucking
available in captain size.
yeah, yeah. Well, I fucking probably just normal, but those were a few tight
There's
ones,
a
you know.
weird topic to get
Well,
into.
well, the condom called ultra thin. It wasn't fucking ultra thin. It was ultra fucking tight.
Yeah, ultra stretched.
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly. It's not
yeah.
ultra thin on Scotty, is it? When he puts it on, it's ultra thick, like him.
Yeah, it's like a fucking wizard's glove.
I thought this was meant to be stretchy. You got to have something to put in it first, Scotty.
Oh, well, he's hoping for his shield, doll, isn't he?
Yeah, is he going to wear Scotty? Are you going to wear a condom with your She-Hulk doll if you ever
No,
get one?
no, I reckon he'll put the condom on the shield, doll, because it's hard to clean shit off a fucking.
A femidom, brilliant. Actually, I think the person, Jedi Master, the co-host on the anti-disestablishmentarianism Jill channel, that promised to actually buy Scotty a She-Hulk doll, if I'm tracking the
What's
situation
a
correctly.
side cunt?
Well, he's one of the people that left Jill's show immediately, suddenly, without warning, because Scotty couldn't help himself with the constant sex talk. In the first 10 minutes, he lost Tiger Stripes. So it's almost like Scotty offending Jill's friends bingo. So whoever had Tiger Stripes leaving first and Jedi Master, whatever his name is, leaving second, you've just won bingo.
Yeah. Oh, Scott. Oh.
See,
I
other
think you
people
just.
arguing. I like it when Scotty upsets other people and argue. I like hearing other people arguing on YouTube, especially when one of them is Scotty and the other one's Teague or PvP.
I think
Depends
Scott
on
is
how you pick her.
just likes to irritate people because he
He
knows
does.
talking about She-Hulk or any effeminate shit like
Yeah.
fucking Spice Girls.
Yeah.
He's gonna
But he
wind
was
me up.
talking about 3PO being a bottom on the Star Wars show. That's what lost Tiger Stripes.
Yeah. Wow.
Scotty.
I'm not saying Scott is a homosexual, but if he did
But
come out as a homosexual, it wouldn't be that
not
much
there's
of a
anything wrong with that.
yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? He's like, yeah, I I tried the heterosexual like way,
The
but
lifestyle.
yeah,
Yeah,
but it's just
sometimes
not
I
me.
think the gentleman doth protest too much. But not that it matters.
Yeah, well, all I'm saying is he likes and so like him talking about fucking having fucking R2D2 ram him. You know what I mean? He's like, yeah, don't
Keiko
put.
pegs. So I do like the way he does annoy people, especially when it's on purpose or it's Tiger Stripes, even if it's by accident. But he's actually that does. He's the best with Teague. Well, Teague is easy to wind up because he wakes up angry. Teague's angry 24/7. So Scotty winding up Teague is basically his pithy one-liners and his brief, devastating rejoinders are fantastic. So yeah, Scotty is not quite as entertaining as he thinks he is, but Scotty v Teague, that is top tier entertainment. That and Scotty upsetting Tiger Stripes and BVP and Jedi Master, whatever his name is. That is the kind of quality content I unsubscribe to Jill for every week.
Yeah, well, you like that side shit. You're hoping
I
one day
do.
they're gonna have you on that panel, and you're gonna be cracking jokes, having good times. Scotty's gonna be
Correct.
fucking yeah, but it's
Oh,
never
you
gonna
know me
happen.
too well.
It's
That's
never gonna happen.
that's the plan. As punishment for banning me from the chat before I'd even done anything, I basically listen to not every show that Jill does, but a lot of them. And I do a running commentary on Twitter, pointing out every time Scotty bullshits about Star Trek, which happens with alarming regularity, or is caught out not knowing what a Dutch angle is. Every time Jill talks bullshit, basically I just call them out on all their nonsense. It's great fun. But conversely, if they let me come on, then I'd be friendly as if nothing had happened. Yeah, it's a binary approach, Jens. I am the mirror, the magnifier, the binary. I'm
No,
either super nice or super shit.
Captain, they know. that if you went on there sooner or later, you'd say something that would be fucking putting you fucking back on block.
Actually, that's the thing that gets me. Remember, as I just said, I got blocked from the chat for no reason. I hadn't even done anything yet, and yet, if thinking about what you just said just there, Jens, if the reason I'm not allowed on the Jill panel or the chat is because she likes to run a tight ship, be very polite, very
Cameron?
grown up, very mature, then why does Scotty offend at least two guests every show with his constant sex talk and then get into an argument with Pleasant Valley Picker where they start talking over each other and getting genuinely angry? Do you know what? Thank you, Jens. You've made me realise that's the problem with Jill, or one of the many problems with Jill: sheer double standards. If you're running such a tight ship, Jill, then why do you tolerate that drunk moron, Pleasant Valley Picker? And
Because he's got
Scotty.
a camp homosexual vibe to him. I'm not
That's
saying he's
what I need to
homosexual.
develop then, my
Oh,
camp
you
vibe.
Jill, hey, Jill, he knows YouTube algorithm
Yeah.
loves a right side fucking bitch.
Is
And
that what
Jill
it
don't want to be the
is?
side bitch.
Right.
You know,
Okay. Well, she is an
so
algorithm chaser.
yeah, and so she's like, well, I'm not gonna act like a side bitch because I want to act like fucking I'm the sensible one. I need a side bitch, fucking who's probably that side enough. He'd fucking publicly fucking post about him wanting a She-Hulk. I know,
Burst him, fucked
Scotty.
him up.
And there,
That's it.
oh,
That's why I'm not allowed on the Jill show. It's not because I'm
that,
argumentative, because
that,
otherwise, why she have Scotty and Petey? Right, it's because I'm not soy enough. I'm too
yeah,
masculine. Because I'll call them out on their soy nerd bitch
yeah,
shit. Oh,
yeah.
you're
Now,
right, Ian. That's why.
yeah. Now, if you just start doing a homosexual soy fucking cunt impression where every time the fucking ask you a question, you're like, oh yeah, that's right, Jill.
I'd be a
Oh
regular once again. there
yeah. Well,
you go.
I'll give you the tools. You've got to fucking use them.
Well, I ain't going to change. I ain't turning soy for nobody. I've been hanging around Yens for too long. I couldn't even
Yeah.
act soy at this point. Not with the Yens influence.
Well, if you come on my show and I've
All over it.
fucking got any fucking evidence of you acting soy, I'll bring the fucker up.
You will. Yeah, if you can find
Yeah.
any. Thank goodness my channel's been
Yeah.
scrubbed, so all that's gone. Yep. No
No,
soy
no, your
evidence.
channel wants soy. That's why I like your. That's why I'd fucking be in your chat and fucking pop on your fucking channel because like it was mainly
Word soy.
fucking bit tedious because it was always fucking Back to the Future, fucking Blade
Blade
Runner,
Runner, Star
and
Wars, and a bit of Star Trek.
usual, yeah, usual
Usual
suspects.
suspects.
Yeah, it was them three films. It was usually the
Not.
topic will be somewhat on the lines of one of them three films. If
Yeah, did
not,
it
yeah,
happen? How many?
yeah,
Oh, yep.
you would have some fucking now and again fucking other fucking subjects, but mainly it was them
It's
three
mainly
topics.
those. You're right. No, Scotty's first piss take was you keep talking about Blade Runner. You've only got one topic, which is why I've now extended it to 20 topics. But the thing is, some channels have zero topics. They just hate watching for clicks, whatever the latest bollocks is
Oh
from
yeah,
Alex
that was it.
Kurtzman or whatever. So, Captain, you've only got one topic. Scotty, you got no pet topics. You got nothing. Scotty, have you? I think you would dream, you aspire to have one topic. But anyway, I've now got, thanks for that piss take, Scotty. It was valid. I now have 20 topics, 20 movies to discuss.
Yeah.
Total Recall, as well as the usual your Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yeah, as of today,
Oh,
number
Time Cop.
20. Yeah. What?
Time Cop.
And Time Cop, but not
Yeah,
yet Time Cop 2.
yeah. I was gonna say you could have Time Cop 2 if you fucking watch the fucking film.
One of these days, well, the moment
Oh,
Citizen, the moment Citizen watches it, you know I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, yeah. But I tell you, you'll probably like it because it fucking mainly is all about the fucking grandfather paradox theory.
Not really. I just maybe that's why. Yeah, I think I'm done now. Time Cop was brilliant, but I think I finally had my fill of time travel movies because I get this online all the time, and I've actually had it in real life now. In real life, when I do go out in real life and just start talking about time travel to complete strangers, and they start recommending other movies. Oh, have you seen Primer? It's called Primer for one thing, and no, shut the fuck up. So, in fact, I'm doubling down. No, I only want to talk about the first Back to the Future and Star Trek City on the Edge of Forever. That's it. And maybe for you readers out there, hey, we got a reader, then Sound of Thunder, a short story. After those three, there's a real big fucking drop off. And I'm not interested because you know how many time travel movies, books, and short stories there are out there? 732 at last count, one for every episode of Star Trek.
Mhm.
Too much
Hey,
time
well,
travel. In fact, the point is so no, I haven't watched Primer, but I do now know that Primer is the incorrect pronunciation of that word. It's Primer. It's not about paint, folks. And that's another thing that ties back to dumb cunts on YouTube because that fourth guy, that Limey, I told him that he was mispronouncing Primer, but classic arrogant Limey, he wouldn't take the correction. Primer, but it's only got one M. Listen, cunt, I didn't invent the English language. It should have two M's, but it doesn't. Talk to the fucking Oxford English Dictionary. It's pronounced primer. It's a different word. It's not a homophone. Calm down, Scotty. It's got a different pronunciation, a different meaning, but the same spelling. But it should have a different spelling. Maybe we should spell it with two M. So that's my anyone. In fact, next person that asks me, "Oh, Captain, have you watched Primer?" No, because it's got a spelling mistake in the title. It should be called Primer with two M's. Anyway, so I'm
yeah.
not going to watch it. I'm not going to watch any more time travel at all, apart from Time Cop 2, because I already promised Jens. But apart from Time Cop, in fact, Time Cop 2 is going to be the last. I shouldn't say that, but no, basically, anyone out there wanting to recommend any time travel stories to me, you're wasting your breath. I'm not interested. The book's done, and everything we need to talk about is in Back to the Future and Star Trek City on the Edge of Forever,
Mm.
and maybe Sound of Thunder.
Yeah. Hey, well, talking about like short stories,
Yeah.
I fucking thingy.
Total Recall.
Yeah, looks up like the
What you
difference.
read, we can remember it for you wholesale.
Yeah, the difference between the film and the movie sort of thing. So
Yes.
this dude did like a 20-minute sort of thing where he read the book and that because he was saying, oh, it's only 17 pages or something.
Yeah. Yeah, he was lying and saying they're the same, which they're not. And then he lied
No,
about
no,
Silence
no.
of the Lambs, didn't he? Because I've
Well,
read the book and it is different from the film. So
yeah,
he was
well,
lying. He was
yeah,
lying.
yeah. Well,
Dumb
apparently
cunts lying to prove a
the
point.
book so practically ends sort of like halfway through the film.
No, it's not. You should read it because no, what it is they answer the question because
Different ending, but
but
like
it
if
is
you know what I
different.
mean, it's
Well, they
because
go
like
into the aliens. There's a not to spoil.
yeah,
How can I
yeah.
explain with that? Basically, there's a third layer of reality that
Mm.
may or may not be true of an alien invasion.
No,
So
no, no. Well, like yeah,
yeah,
the plot line
I've got it
is
right
that
here.
fucking aliens like Quaid because he's not Hauser. He is Quaid
Exactly.
in the book.
Yes.
Quill is Quill, not Quaid, but Quill.
Yeah. Oh, someone. Yeah, I've been doing your homework, Jens.
Yeah. And but um,
Hang on, let me
he
go to my Philip
basically
K. Dick shelf. Look at
yeah
all
he
these books by
basically
Dick, Dick, Dick,
forgot
Dick, Dick.
yeah he basically forgot that the aliens like um think he's a great guy, and so they won't fucking blow up planet Earth.
Right. Yeah, you've got it, Jens. Exactly. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah,
third reality.
yeah. That's sort of like the book's take on it, and but like um media critical.
Transmedia canonical verisimilitude.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Fucking yeah.
That's the book, folks.
Um.
That's the book you want to get.
Yeah, we can remember it for you wholesale. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. What cover have you got? Is it the one where he's so like in the chair, or is it the one where it's the plane? Because like there's two,
It
isn't
looked
there?
like a big spaceship to me, or a giant aeroplane, or some
Yeah,
freaking thing.
yeah. It's that cover then, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
So yeah,
there's
well
a
done. I'm impressed, Jens, in a non-patronising manner.
you'll be impressed with this, Captain. Get
Yeah.
this,
You're not going to whip it out, are you?
because as I say, I pretty much knew the storyline to the film because
Yeah.
media critical fucking version for that.
Transmedia canonical verisimilitude.
Yeah, it's
That thing.
fucking similar, but it's not fucking. And so two different fucking films or stories you could say.
Right.
Where obviously Tori Collins inspired heavily because they admitted themselves, don't they? But
Yeah, there's
yeah,
similarity. Well, it's like with Silence of the Lambs is one of the closest adaptations ever made, but
yeah.
it's still not 100%. That's the point. It's never 100% to the book. Never.
No. Well,
It can't
with
be.
the film, I
Yeah.
fucking knew that fucking, as I say, Quaid
Yeah.
is not fucking Quaid. He's a
Hauser.
memory implant. Hauser
Right.
is the hero of the film, but he's fucking
But,
implanted himself to think he's Quaid. But as,
but
as
he's
me and you
Hauser
came to the conclusion, everything's real in that film, apart
apart
from
from
Quaid,
Quaid.
who's a memory
Boom.
implant.
There you go.
Oh
They should
yeah,
have put that on the poster, shouldn't they? Everything's real apart from Quaid.
yeah, and then leave a memory implant for the DVD release because you don't want to spoil the cinema release. But yeah, well, anyway, so I know that and that, but now because I'm having to
DVD.
fucking do a video, and I don't want to do a video where someone in the comments says, "Oh, you missed out so and so," and I'm like, "Oh, fuck it, they're right." You know what I mean?
You got to cover everything, but that's why I've learned to
Yeah.
completely ignore the source material because it's always different and it's a different thing altogether. The film, it's difficult enough maintaining canon across different movies and sequels, or in the case of Pulp Fiction, maintaining canon in the same movie, and therefore talking about the books. Well, that's why it's in my book, literally in my book. I'm going to make it very clear. We're always only talking about the movie, and we're not remotely interested in the source material because it's always different. And then in the case of Once
Not
Upon a Time
always,
in
but yeah.
Hollywood, you might have a third layer of complication, which is if it's based on reality. So you've got the movie, the novel, and the reality, none of which relate to each other. And that's before you've got dream sequences, hallucinations, unreliable narrations being filmed, like Rashomon and The Usual Suspect. So this is the whole thing. I like a headache. I like things that are complicated so I can simplify them for the audience, for the readers, for the viewers. But there's such a thing as too many complications, especially for some of you dumb cunts out there. That's you, Daytona. So yeah, keep it simple. Ignore the book. So that goes back to the very reason for today's show. Those four dumb cunts coming on here trying to convince us that I don't know the meaning of the word canon, and then that all movies are always canon. Oh, sorry, all movies that are adaptations, they claim, are always faithful to the book. When it's not all, it's none, zero, not one. How dumb are they? So that's basically why we're having today's rant. Zero movies
Yeah, well,
are
there is one or two that come fucking
close.
practically close. Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
Silence of the Lambs comes closer than most, but it's still not 100%. That's the point.
Yeah. It's
And
hard. It's hard.
specifically, and just to show I'm a good listener, the other person that's come out with that same bullshit is Canadian Spider-Man, who has also claimed that there is a movie that follows the book to the letter. You are full of shit yet again, Spidey. But then I was thinking, all right, let's say hypothetically, let's say there's some rich, stubborn cunt out there that basically, let's say that, I don't know, Elon Musk is listening, and just to prove a point, he bankrolls a movie and makes the director of the movie follow the novel to the letter just to prove a point. So it could be done. I'm sure there's still something that wouldn't be canon. But even if it was done, the point is it would be a shit movie. So that's why there's a reason why we have to make changes,
Depends
because
how
it's a
good the
different
book is.
medium, so it's fine. That's why we need to relax about it. That's why people go, oh, it's not like the source material. So fucking what? It's a different thing. Get over it. Come to peace with it.
Yeah. Well, in the source material to Total Recall, which is Real Dream for we'll remember it
Remember it
for
for your
your
wholesale.
wholesale. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quail is not fucking dreaming or in a fucking well, he is sort of like in a Total Recall fucking
It does
trance, but
go
he ain't
there.
having a
Spoiler alert.
fucking schizo emerism.
He's having a schizoid embolism.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Anyway, but back to the film though. So
Back to the
I
film,
know,
buddy.
yeah, I know pretty much about the plot line and that, but now
Yeah.
I'm going really into detail where I'm thinking I've got a pretty rough idea of what Hauser's plan was supposed to be.
Okay. To shag Melina.
No, but like get to Quato without fucking all the fucking drama and that, which he probably
I
knew
got
what.
6 kids to feed.
Yeah, well, he probably knew fucking. It was yeah. He's a big part in that, but yeah, it wasn't like where fucking. He knew like he's on a mission, so it's not going to be fucking safe and that. But it could have been, and so like I've got a pretty good idea of like
Yeah.
what went wrong, of like what Hauser's plan was supposed to be, and why it went wrong.
Because you got the implant, isn't it?
No,
Are you
no,
getting
no.
more material for your upcoming video, Jens?
Yeah, well, as I say, I've been like fucking having to like work out the like the prequel fucking
Yeah.
scenario to
Yeah. I agree. I think a lot of it is very hazy. We're going to have to do a
yeah,
lot of heavy lifting that wasn't
I
done
know,
by the original
yeah,
screenwriters.
yeah. Well, like this is what I'm gonna have to try to make sure people can understand what was happening. Because as I say, if they'd have made a prequel uh, and that, and obviously with good writers, they can write fucking good action scenes in a fucking toilet. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so,
Get some action scenes in the prequel.
yeah. You know what I mean? There is a film to be made for the prequel to Total Recall, but as I say, you only see sort of the sort of end
Well, you'd have to.
half of the mission. You won't.
Yeah,
You
you'd have
only
to
see
start off with Hauser talking to Cohag and Das and Richter and Laurie, going,
no, no,
"So,
no, no,
I need to
no,
shag
no.
your girlfriend."
You know, oh no, well, like yeah, fucking thinking about. I forgot though, because like if that had happened, it, it wouldn't have gone down so bad because at least Richter would have known
She went
that
down.
fucking Hauser is sort of
Right.
like not so much
Horny.
of a loose cannon. But anyway,
Right.
the only two people that know about the mission, and I did know this, but I just got into the fucking comedy routine of Arnie talking to Rick saying, "I've got to shag your bird. It's for the mission." But no,
Exactly.
there
I'm sure
was
she
only
hated
two
every minute of
people.
it.
There was only two people that knew about the mission, and that was Hagen
Yep. Cohag
and
and Das.
Hauser. They're the only two people that know about, and that's why fucking it all goes tits up because fucking no one knows about this mission. And it's one
Even
of them.
Richter.
Well, this is what I've been working out in this issue
Right.
where it's on a prequel. Hauser doesn't want anyone else to know apart from him and Cohagen because he can't trust the fucking mission being leaked out. Because if the mission gets leaked out of what he's gonna do, it's pointless him fucking doing it. He needs to be fucking.
Oh, absolutely relies on secrecy, hence the memory wiping. That's why even Hauser doesn't know about the mission after he becomes Quaid.
Yeah, well, well, anyway, so yeah.
Although we don't know, see, maybe he was lying all along about not having his memory. Maybe the whole time he knew that he was Hauser and Quaid.
No, because fucking Quato.
That'd be a twist, wouldn't it?
Well, Quato reads his mind, don't he? And he knows he's not Hauser.
Yeah. Or rather, he doesn't know that he is Hauser. Oh, yeah, that's the whole point of the mission. Quattro can't read Hauser's mind because Hauser's mind has been replaced by Quaid's personality. That's the irony of everything's real apart from Quaid. So we're following Quaid, but it's not Quaid, it is Hauser.
Yeah.
It's a multiple personality, isn't it? You think this is the real Quaid?
Well, this is what thick cunts don't fucking get.
Yeah.
So that's why they think it's
not
a dream.
Just Tony.
Because it confuses them of like fucking. How can fucking. There be like two people. I was dopey cunts anyway, as I say. They fucking.
They don't get it. Have you never met anyone with multiple personality disorder?
Well,
exactly. They don't get it.
Well, it's one of them where when I watched the film and that, when it comes to the part where Cohagen, he don't go into detail in that, and so this is why I'm having to fucking get other fucking parts of like the in having to like fucking what do you call it? Speculate.
That's it.
I have to like speculate on things in that, but pretty much Cohagen explains the fucking plot line
story
of the film. Yeah,
and
it's one of them where
easy. You call that easy?
Yeah, like they was fucking tearing up the fucking
in between you fucking it up, you shagging your bird doggy style every morning.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
while her boyfriend's watching over the CCTV.
Yeah. Well,
you shooting everything in sight. It's a wonder we got everything done. Easy. You're about as easy as a nuclear war.
Yeah. Well, anyway, when that part comes up, people must have fucking doze off at that part. Or
they zone out. Too much thinking. When's there more shooty?
Yeah, because that little like fucking, I think it's about a 2 or 3 minute fucking like spiel of like how fucking he's like amazed that it fucking works.
Yeah.
And like he's gonna be fucking glad to have his friend Hauser back.
Right.
And in 2 minutes, you won't give a fuck about what happens to those fucking mutants on Mars. Yeah.
Not realizing that he's become Quaid, discovered empathy. I'm a goodie now.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the film where Cohagen wants his mate back. How was that? Because he's just fucking helped him fucking take down fucking Quato. But
he got succeeded in the mission, didn't he? It's a shame he had to. Right, yeah.
And when people don't get that part of the film, it can probably just seem like fucking mumble jumble shit. I say, oh, it's just a dream.
But that's well, if someone just says it's too complicated and I'm here for the action because it's an Arnie movie, fair enough. But for anyone to go, it's a dream. Well, no, you are wrong. Still, but as you know, I despise. It's a dream. You're wrong. But it's vague. Get out. Get out.
Yeah.
One thing even Daytona understands that. Can't stand people that think it's vague. Oh, it's up to you. No, it's not up to me. It's your story, motherfucker. You tell me. I like working it out, but I need to have something to work out. So yeah, that's the first and last thing I always want to say about Total Recall. It's not fucking vague, like the Blade Runner question. Hence this book. It's not vague. It's just hard to work out. That's not the same thing. I'm going to write that there. Vague and hard to work out are not the same thing. They are not synonymous, Amber Heard.
Yeah,
vague is not equal to hard to figure out. They're all specific. Or in the case of Blade Runner, as DVB Citizen knows, it's accidentally vague. I think that's why the Blade Runner question is so enduring. It's not meant to be a question. It's just Ridley Scott failed to clarify his message. So Blade Runner is an enduring question, the Deckard question, after 43 years, because it's accidentally vague. Whereas the Italian Job, the original with Michael Caine, you're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off. When did the Rolling Stones get here? That is deliberately vague. Although there was supposed to be a sequel where they explained what happened with the gold. But it never happened. Whereas The Thing, which came out the same day as Blade Runner, is meant to be vague, but credit to Z3PO is apparently accidentally specific, where you're not meant to figure out which one is the thing, but you can using logical thinking. So Blade Runner is accidentally vague, and The Thing is apparently accidentally specific. So there, where the Italian Job's deliberately vague and Star Wars is deliberately specific. The Death Star did blow up.
Well, the Italian Job is one of them where you can make up your own ending, even though there was going to do an Italian Job too, where I think it was one of them where
budget
the ending the writ, which would have been the beginning to the sequel.
Right. Yeah, that was the plan.
Would have been that they didn't get the gold, but they got out everyone got out the bus in time, but the gold and the bus went over the fucking ravine and that. And so I think they was going to do Italian Job Part 2, where they had to go back to retrieve the gold from where they fucking thinking in the ravine.
Oh, I didn't realise that. It's not just the start of the movie. It is the movie. The answer to that. That's good. Wow. Oh, this is the kind of quality content I subscribe for.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what they wanted to do with the sequel, but I don't think they got like the fucking
money.
Green light. And I think it was a case of script, as in like they didn't have the full script, so they had like a fucking rough idea of what they was wanting to do. But like and I think Michael Caine was doing something else, and they knew if they didn't get Michael Caine back, it was something like that, I'm sure. But yeah.
That would have been a good idea. Now you mention it, Blade Runner 2 should have been all about answering the Deckard question. That is why I've gone off Blade Runner.
Well, they did, because he gets old.
Well, that's one of the... But as recently as 3 days ago, I was on another channel asking them about the Deckard question. And one of the people, the person I asked, says, oh, wasn't that answered in Blade Runner 2049? Where is this pervasive myth coming from? No, it's answered in the first movie, and it's made even vaguer in the second movie, Blade Runner 2049, because Denis Villeneuve went on record in an interview, although under death of the author, you can just watch the movie. But either way, in the movie and thanks to the interview with Denis Villeneuve, he said specifically, I am not answering the Deckard question. Fuck that. I am avoiding it. You can fuck off. So he made a point of avoiding the question. And that, in hindsight, has put me off Blade Runner 2049 again. Because if you're going to avoid the biggest question in pop culture history, Denis Villeneuve, then what the fuck are you doing?
But that's what the fucking Total Recall, I think, for some people, like, there was one fucking, like, video I watched where he was like, oh, yeah, it's like, the plot line and that. And then he sort of like said, oh, yeah, at the end where he sort of like went with the plot line I've said, but he didn't fucking go into too much detail. But, you know, he said, oh, yeah, he's Hauser and that shit.
Yeah. So,
well,
right.
But, and then at the end, he was like, but it could be a dream and that. Tell me what you think in the chat. So after explaining that, like, oh, yeah, he's not thinking it's a dream. But then he was like, well, it could be. You know, at the end, it's one of them where if, like with Bigfoot, if people are always asking, is it real or is it not? You know what I mean? It's always getting debated. So, like, fucking, they always look love a fucking film that's got like, oh, was she real or wasn't she real? Oh.
Well, that's why these movies, especially given that they do have specific answers, that's why after 4.5 years on YouTube, I've got 20 movies to deconstruct for my forthcoming book, because there's 20 examples of something that's a bit vague where it's not meant to be vague. Or even worse than vague, in some cases, people don't even know it's vague. They think they know the answer, but they don't. They got the wrong answer. In other cases, at least they know that they don't know the answer because they think it's vague. But it's not vague. There is an answer. So that is why I've got this book coming, because there are answers. It's not vague, but equally, it is hard to figure out. Otherwise, there'd be no need for a book. Because that's a point I wanted to make at the beginning. Actually, is no one's ever going to have a successful book called "The Sky Is Blue." So I'm not going to do a book called "Did the Death Star Blow Up in the First Movie of Star Wars?" It's yeah, the whole point is to be controversial. So it's answering questions that people know are controversial, and then in some cases, answering questions that people didn't even know were a question. Brilliant, like Total Recall.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I know the answer to Total Recall because fucking you watched the beginning bit to Total Recall
Yeah,
where Sharon Stone is really concerned about fucking Quaid fucking having dreams and that, or
right.
having fucking dreams
Wait,
of
did you?
how
Who did you
to
dream of? The brunette? She was getting jealous, wasn't she? Because
yeah,
she
yeah.
knows the brunette's real.
Well, I've worked out
Yeah.
that
Come
obviously
on, you're the girl of
she
my dreams.
she is like a plant to fucking watch over him and
No,
that.
she's definitely a human. Hey,
Well, it's one of them where you watch that and she's got that look over her where she's like,
yeah.
shit, this is my job. It's more than a wife's concerned, it's more of a job's at line. And
So, in
she,
other words, a nice bit of acting by Sharon Stone
oh,
actually gives
yeah,
the plot
yeah,
away and
yeah.
makes you realise that it's not a schizoid embolism or an implant, that it is actually happening.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, well, great acting by all the cast, but Sharon Stone
Especially Arnie.
is
He's like Meryl Streep.
is real good at like playing a bit of a bitch. Because that's how apparently that's how she got the Basic Instinct fucking role. Because she could play a like
Oh, she could play
sweet
nice,
innocent,
but
yeah, sweet
yeah.
innocent lass, and then a proper fucking bitch.
I thought that
Which
was all women. Have I just been hanging around with the wrong chicks?
oh no, but Sharon Stone takes it to the limit where she kicks him in the balls. And as I say,
She's pretty hot for a blonde.
are you going to pay 300 extra credits for your fucking Total Recall ego trip to have your balls being kicked in?
I paid extra for this. Good
Obviously,
point, Jens.
I
Good
say,
point.
obviously, there's some people who would pay extra, but your typical client is going to be like, and remember,
Yeah.
every every fucking memory that you get from Recall, you believe it. It's like every other memory.
But that's right. So in the story, okay, so this is something I'm not sure about. In the story, for normal people, so we're like talking about hypotheticals of fictions, but let's say the previous customer to Arnie, if you go in there, so when you're done with your fake holiday, you've tricked yourself and you think it's real. Is that correct?
Yeah,
So it's a
and
deliberate self delusion. So what do they
yeah,
do
and
with the bot? They just keep them in recall for 2 weeks, and the dreams are
no,
happening, the implants in real
well,
time.
no.
No.
I don't think they'll be keeping
Oh
them
dear.
in 2 weeks. It might be like 2 hours or something.
But if you think it's a 2 week holiday to Mars, what happens if you go home? That's not going to work with your diary, is it? So you've been on a 2 week holiday to Mars, and yet you've only
No,
been
that's
away
even
from
better,
home
though,
for
isn't
two
it?
hours.
That's even better. You get an extra 2 weeks.
Yeah, but the point is, you just said that you actually think it's real. Well, you can't think it's real if the dates don't add up. You're going to go home and go, yeah, all right, love, I've just been to Mars for 2 weeks. No, you haven't. You were here 2 hours ago. Was I? So I don't think it's
No,
you
no,
meant to
no,
fall.
no, no.
No,
You
yeah,
know, no.
yeah,
You'll know. Fucking.
yeah.
You went to recall
Right.
and that, so you know, like it's
So you do know it's
fucking.
yeah.
You know, you'll know it's not real, but
Oh, you do
the
know it's not real.
memories
Make up your
feel
mind, Jens.
real.
What?
The memories feel real.
They
So
feel real, but you know they're not real.
yeah,
Okay.
like a dream. You know,
Yeah.
it'd be like a dream where
Yeah, you know it's real as opposed to
well, you know it's not real, but it feels fucking real.
yep, yep. Sometimes some
So
dreams feel more real than reality.
so in the film, when you go and take a fucking recall trip, you pretty much remember that as real as possible. So you're gonna remember 3 times that your wife fucking
Kicks you
battered
in the
your
nuts.
balls in. Oh, and the last one is a spike with an eye heel.
That's extra.
Yeah. So like, imagine if I just been on a fucking tour where that was my fucking recall trip. I'm like,
So if you
oh
come on
yeah,
the show and go, Captain, I've just been to Mars, and I
yeah,
say, but you were here 2 hours ago. What the fuck?
yeah, and I'm like, oh yeah, but I was up there, and for some reason, my lass fucking was with this dude from Recall that the pretending was from Well, that was sent into pretend he's in a recall thingy, and then all of a sudden, because I shoot him,
Oh,
fucking the walls come crashing in. I get the shit beaten out of me by fucking 5 dudes to the point I'm unconscious and they're dragging me out of the room because fucking the missus just fucking stomped on my balls and kicked me in my fucking
but then she
face and
asked you
knocked
to
me
tie
out.
her up.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, oh yeah, I was getting dragged out. It's like you'd be like, well, I'd rather have a fucking like trip where fucking I'm not getting the shit beaten out of me. Where
I want to
I'm
be
more like the
shagging
Roger Moore.
Melina.
I'm more like the Roger Moore, where I'm in a fucking Lotus of Spree, fucking dropping bombs and fucking.
Well, exactly. If you're going to go on an ego trip, you want a Roger Moore, not Roger Less.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Here's a thought. All right, here's a thought. Do they have branches of recall on Mars? And if so, do they have branches of fake recall on fake memory implant Mars? In other words, if during the implant you think it's
Mm,
real, because as you say, Jens, it feels real, what happens if in the middle of an ego trip you decide to go to recall when you're already in an ego trip? So you go to another recall within the recall. Oh shit, there's a sequel. Now we can do a recall prequel and a recall sequel. Are you writing this down, Tony? This is fucking gold.
yeah. Well, fucking.
I want the Total Recall trilogy, Jens. I want to go to recall in my ego trip. Come on,
Well,
think
yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
yeah. Got to pay
Because you're on the
extremely
ego
credit.
trip, you don't know if it's real or not, but it feels real, so you think it's real. You're like, oh, I'm a bit bored on my Mars holiday. I want to go to Uranus, Scotty.
Mm,
So you go to the
oh,
Mars offices of Recall, and that guy's already there, whether it's real or not, isn't he?
yeah,
A
yeah.
fat controller.
Yeah. Well, they probably would do that because apparently in the recall they can do memory implants on memory implants.
No, really?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah, yeah.
no. Well, there you go. Do that then. So there you go. Total Recall needs a total prequel and a total sequel. And that's what they should call it: total prequel and total sequel. This is the kind of quality content that Citizen subscribes for.
Yeah. Well,
So we
in
should
the
call it
thingy,
total prequel.
well, in the film, they think because he's got an implant or whatever that, but they don't realise that the implants are part of a mission. That when you see Quaid kick off, you blow my cover, I kill you all, and all that shit.
Exactly.
Well, they was
No, you didn't even blow my cover.
yeah, they was
Excellent
gonna
acting.
put the
Like Laurence
implant
Olivier.
over the implant,
Yeah,
but fucking because it's a big fucking memory thing.
yeah.
Yeah, it fucking probably was too much for it, and that's why he fucking comes back to being Hauser.
And
And
rather than taking that pill, they should have put him in another. They should have wheeled in a big chair to get out of this, Mister Quaid. You've got to go. You've got to go under again.
yeah, well, I think in my sort of like fucking speculation theories and that, because you don't fucking find out exactly, but I think
Yeah,
because
do you? It's like recall
well,
Inception. It's just schizoid embolisms all the way down.
well, this is what I'm going to have to go through on that shit.
Yeah.
It's going to be it might be even a 4 hour one, fucking depending on how detailed I go. But in
For
the
starters.
recall center,
Yeah.
you've only got like a 2 week sort of implant and that, so they'll be quite small. Well, Hauser, because he's fucking in the film, he's mid-30s or whatever.
Right. A young
He's,
man.
yeah, his implants like 35 years of memory.
So, well, exactly, because he's been
I
Hauser
could,
his entire life. But exactly, they've got to program him with an entire lifetime of Quaid memories.
yeah.
Otherwise, he's going to guess that he was Hauser. Exactly, they've got to wipe it from the beginning.
Well, that's why they don't want him to go to recall because they know it's not going to fucking be
Mess with his
happy.
memory.
It's they're not, and they try and persuade him because you've seen the film. Fucking, they say, "Oh yeah, my mate got a fucking schizo embolism and that shit."
Yeah.
Fucking and that, but you realise he's lying because fucking he says his mate got one like a fucking few months ago. Well, he makes out like if it was that year sort of thing.
You end up
Like,
getting
so,
lobotomized.
yeah. He said, "Oh yeah, my friend just went on one of them, acting like if he a recent occurrence." Well,
They totally melted his brain. He's got no thought process left. He's now become a YouTuber.
yeah, called himself Starkabine.
That's the explanation. He got fucking lobotomized after a bad
Yeah,
recall ego trip.
yeah,
That's
he
what it
don't
is. He
know.
went on a mission thinking he's Tony Stark. That totally makes. Oh, that's his origin story. Tony, you are at recall. You got to take this pill, Tony. You got to wake up. You're actually a loser and a nobody on Earth. No, I am Tony Stark. No, you're not Tony. Yes, I am. Bang.
Can you hear yourself, Mr. Stark?
I'm a superhero. My girlfriend's a stripper. She loves me
All of
for
his girl, all of his super
me.
girlfriend walks in. He's like, "Tony, take the pill, Tony."
And then kicks him in the nuts.
well, before he
Tony, if you're out there,
what?
Tony, you're at recall, right? Take the pill, Tony. Take the pill. Put the gin and tonic down. Take the pill, Tony. If you don't take the pill, Tony, if you continue persisting with this fucking nonsense that you're a YouTube star with lots of fans and friends, that the entire walls of reality will come crashing down around you, Tony. Take the fucking pill. I don't care. I'm not sweating.
Are you sure for man? Oh shit! That was cheap fucking pound shop deodorant. Oh fuck! What's that?
You got your own channel, and there's a hot redhead that's fallen in love with you. Can you hear yourself, Mr. Tony? She's here because I tamed her. Oh, I should have done the Tony voice for that. Mind you, Tony doesn't have a voice of his own because he's got 1,000 voices. Shit,
Well,
that's
I
it.
think
Tony
I'll do a
Stark of
Tony
Iron is
voice. She's
Quaid.
real. I dreamt it, and then I
Yeah.
paid her fucking $20.
She's real
See
because
what
I
the
wanked
tits are.
over her.
I bet you a $10 a tit. That minute, fucking game of fucking Warlock, fucking wizards.
That's what we need to call the new script, Tony Recall. That's brilliant.
Oh, fuck.
He goes on an ego trip and becomes a famous YouTuber. Doomcock's his
Yeah,
biggest fan. It's an unbelievable fantasy, but he totally buys it.
yeah, yeah.
Fucking
And
awesome.
and for some reason he ends up on Mars and then fucking dies because he's unable to fucking start the reactor because
You
he's
think
too
this is a
pissed.
real Stark of Iron? It
Yeah.
is.
Well, we'll do it exactly like the fucking Total Recall film, but when Arnie at the end puts his hand on the fucking like start
That
the
alien
start button
handprint thing.
to the reactor, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll have Tony fucking reach out, but he's too pissed and he grabs a like gin and tonic or whatever, and then because he doesn't start the reactor, when he gets fucking sucked out onto Mars, he just dies because
I was hoping to get sucked off, not sucked out.
yeah,
That's
that could be his
brilliant.
end.
Right,
Yeah, that could
write
be
that
him
down,
then.
Jens.
Yeah,
You got a third of a script right there. This is awesome.
yeah.
Tony Recall.
The red fucking sky ending. Oh man.
Brilliant. I'd buy that for $1.
Well,
That
anyway,
is
so I'm
awesome.
saying,
Tony
so mate
Recall.
tells him not to go to recall because his friends
Yeah, Pepper
recently.
Potts tells him not to go.
Well, the dude he says like at recall, he says, "Oh yeah, the only person we had a fucking schizo embolism. Fucking it was like fucking years ago.
That was Scotty.
Well, the recall dude makes out like if it was when recall first fucking started, and it was like fucking a one-off that's not happened ever again. And so
Tony Recall. Brilliant.
you work out that the worker mate was like just not wanting fucking Quaid to go. Well, Hauser to go
Tony.
to fucking recall.
Tony Hauser. No, Tony Quaid. No, his fake real personality is Tony Quaid, but he's actually Ian Hauser. I'm so confused. No, it's brilliant. Yeah, Pepper Potts is real because I dreamt her. Pepper Potts is real because you dreamt her. Can you hear yourself, Stark of Iron? Oh, this is so awesome.
Yeah. Okay. I tell you what.
Tony, you should take this and run with it. $100, it's yours. $50 each to Jens and me.
I won't understand it.
No, it's too much of a complicated bit. Maybe you should write a script.
Well, he probably hasn't even seen the fucking film Total Recall, or if he has, my time years ago.
I thought it was a dream. We never asked him, actually. We haven't asked Tony's opinion on Total Recall.
I think we did, but he didn't know. He didn't know, and I know a bullshitting cunt that don't know the answer and then tries to fucking make out like
his way through it.
Yeah, for some reason the fucking anyway, fucking he hasn't seen the film.
Okay, Tony, if you're listening, make sure you watch the original 1990 Arnie Total Recall, and then give Jens your opinion about whether it happened or not.
Too masculine for Tony.
That could be.
Have you noticed? Tony likes to fucking pretend he's fucking Iron Man, but fucking he's probably going to be watching Iron Heart.
Oh, even better. Hang on.
Which is the female fucking Iron Man.
Oh, now you're talking. Is that what's happening? Oh, it is, isn't it? That's right. There's a female Iron. Why is it not called Iron Woman? Iron Chick.
She's a girl. I think she's about fucking
Iron
15.
Gal.
I think she's about 15.
You know, Spider Woman. Super
It's
girl.
ridiculous. She's like a 15-year-old girl, and she can fucking make better fucking technology than a fucking like 40-year-old dude who's fucking been brought up. Yeah, whose dad was a fucking, and so he was brought up with all these. Oh no, she's a probably 15-year-old girl that's Googled a few fucking and saw a few things on TikTok, and now she can build Iron Man.
Now anyone can be Iron Man now.
Yeah.
I just downloaded the instructions for how to make this flying suit with laser repulsors in it.
Yeah. Well, that takes so much Tony's fucking more Iron out than he is Iron Man. I don't think I don't think he'll get
Iron
Total
Lady.
Recall.
Iron
Yeah, me
Dude.
too
No.
masculine for him and all.
What?
Me too. He'll probably be too busy like wanking over the Sharon Stone fucking.
Better than that, and Kathleen Kennedy's Dancing Girl number 6.9 in Temple of Doomcock, Scotty. No
Well,
wonder you don't realise it's a prequel.
Well, I can't disagree with that one, no. But fucking all I'm saying is,
even She-Hulk's better than Kathleen
I
Kennedy.
think it's too highbrow for fucking. So, he's, as you say, he's a discount Doomcock. So if Doomcock hadn't talked about fucking Total Recall, fucking
Tony's got nothing to say about it. Yeah,
no,
good point. Good point. Well, then we need to ask Doomcock to rewatch Total Recall and voice an opinion.
Yeah, that's what we need to do.
Then Discount, then Mini-Me.
I'll super chat.
Yeah.
Doomcock.
Well, I hope Tony's watching Hateful Eight because he needs to tell me about the Snowy Blowy, the dingus scene, because I'm not satisfied with his previous answer. See Jens's previous show. Remember, Tony, if it's on screen, it didn't happen. Usual suspects.
Oh, well, it's Tony is not fucking capable of discussing fucking films and fucking queries on films and other fucking.
I think to be fair, because we like to rag on Tony. I think Tony can actually.
No, he can't. No. He can gauge a tape. He can gauge a tape. Fucking talking points he's heard about films.
Well,
but when it comes to fucking having any fucking sense of fucking.
You don't think he could hold his own in a Total Recall? Well, at least you've realised and can admit that Tony's not soy. Let's at least give him that much.
No, you're soy.
Oh, he came on the show. Something that Scotty hasn't done since last August?
Hey, it's like Scotty.
No, credit where it's due. Let's be fair to Tony.
He's got balls. I'm not saying they haven't got balls.
Right. Okay.
But they're soyed.
All right. Okay, so Tony's soy and he's got balls. Fair enough.
Yeah, like Scotty. You know what I mean?
Well, Scotty's soy and he's got no balls. He won't come up here. He's too afraid of manly conversation and direct contradiction and being questioned on his assumptions. Not to mention Star Trek.
Oh,
no, Tony's got balls and Scotty's not.
Hey,
no, because
you've
Scotty
got a point
loves...
there, Captain. You got a point. Scotty on the re-rub. You got no balls. Now, I give you the balls. Captain's took them away.
Yeah, no, Tony will come up for a chat. He has done as recently as this week. Scotty hasn't been here since August.
Came up crying nearly.
So, I now respect Tony more than Scotty. How about that? At least he'll come up for a conversation.
Oh, you only like fucking
I'm allowed to like Tony a little bit. You can't go non-stop.
Yeah, you only like Tony a little bit better than Scotty because you're thinking there's more of a chance of you going on Tony's stream than there is on Scotty's. Because for a start,
because Scotty hasn't got a channel.
Scotty doesn't even have a fucking like streaming channel. He's got a channel, but he doesn't stream.
I think the odds of going on anyone's show apart from yours are pretty much none at the moment. But then again, you never know. My Twitter numbers are going up, and every day people are realising that I'm a horrible, abrasive cunt because I can afford to be. Because I'm correct. I'm a pop culture fucking genius. And there's nothing anyone can do to prevent or stop that. I am right about everything, except the things I'm wrong about.
Yeah. Well,
I like Tony. I admit I'm wrong. Take the new answer that's correct. Move on.
I'll say something, Captain. Fucking, if there's like subscribers keep going up in that,
you're going to get monetized.
If you do ever fucking get another channel up, you can easily fucking send out, and so you probably
need 1,000 subs, so.
at least 10% or maybe 20 30.
No, I'm happy being the littlest hobo like Scotty. The one thing that
Mm.
Scotty got right is you don't need a channel. Or I don't need a channel, neither does Scotty. That's why it wasn't losing my channel that was a problem. It was realizing that all the people that were having me on their channels was, apart from you, was because they were coming on mine. So it was a good hard lesson. But yeah, no, I don't. I mean, anything can change. Never say never. But I have no plans to ever have my own YouTube channel. I don't need to. I prefer books and guesting on Yens.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, I like writing. I think there's more money in writing. We're going to find out.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, the
Oh,
medium is the message. But if anyone wants to hear more of my ideas about anything, then give us your PayPal details and send me $100.
hmm. Yeah, we're talking about writing.
Yeah.
The fucking yellow fucking
Yellow
piss
Flush, Mighty
golden.
Morphin Golden Shower.
Yeah.
What's the latest?
Oh, give me a sec. 'Cause I need to get a beer just in case fucking
You go
it's
on.
like
I'll have.
million.
I'll cover. You go get your
Yeah,
beer.
yeah.
All right. So remember, folks, there's 3 timelines in Back to the Future online. Jens and I agreed on that. It's just the other 6
It's off
timelines
screen,
that are.
remember, folks.
Go and get your beer. Yeah, definitely 3 timelines. Deckard's a replicant. Total Recall's a dream. At least we agree on that much. The Italian job, I'll tell you how they got their gold. They got a fishing wire and then they just stood on the edge of the cliff. No, I don't know. So, yeah, anyway, had everything. I'm fine here now. How are you? It's a reference. It's a reference, folks. Keep up. Go, we're coming up to 2 hours of non-stop talking almost. Good, you come back, then I'll disappear for a quick, but I'll have another cup of tea. But yeah, 3 timelines in Back to the Future, all on screen. Not 2, not 4, not infinity, not 9. And I can prove it with an extra sketch, but you're going to have to cough up some money. There was someone on to cough up some money, finish the sentence, Captain. There's someone on Twitter going, when I was pointing out on yet another Twitter feed that Return of the Jedi isn't canon, and they responded with, well, why isn't it canon? So I finally wrote back going, well, buy my book. And put in a screenshot of the front cover. Yeah,
Yeah.
the information's not free. See, I don't have to convince people. If you can't see the retcons in Return of the Jedi, that's your problem. They are there. Just because you can't see them, they're still there. So if you want to find out where they are, it's going to cost you $100. If you want cheaper, you have to wait for the book to come out. Thank you.
Hey, well, talking about Return of the Jedi and that,
Nice
and
segue. Yeah. Yeah.
Harrison Ford wanted Luke's Luke Luke
Luke.
Solo. I was going to say, or Luke
Luke
Han
Solo.
Solo. He wanted Han Solo's character to die.
Die. His
Yeah,
hair. Yeah.
you
Well,
know
he got
when.
his wish in the end, 30 years
Oh
later,
yeah, yeah.
although that's not canon.
No, well, yeah, but he wanted to like sacrifice himself to open the fucking the
Death
fucking
Star, Millennium
no,
Falcon,
no, the door things that
the Rebel thing, the gateway,
the
the
rebel base
bunker,
doors
the
that
Rebel, their
control the
shield
fucking shield.
generator. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
know. I'm removing Return of the Jedi from my memories because it's not canon,
But
so I
one,
don't need to
yeah,
memorize
there
it.
was. It was more of hanging doors. What was it that they had? Or garage doors and that shit. That. Well, anyway,
The back door.
Harrison Ford
Yeah.
wanted Han Solo's character to sacrifice himself to get through into the fucking
Rebel shield, Imperial
yeah,
shield generator
yeah,
on the Sanctuary Moon.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
obviously he don't because Chewie comes and blows the doors, done in the
He
Walker.
blows the bloody doors off.
Yeah,
All right, sure. Yeah, those deleted scenes in Return of the Jedi were fantastic. You rebel scum. Scum? Brilliant. The best parts of Return of the Jedi on the cutting room floor. What are you doing, Lucas? Without Marsha, you're nothing. And that's why Return of the Jedi isn't canon. You're bringing back another memory from 1980. I remember my mate Darren, who was more into Star Wars than me, telling me
that's
that
it.
he heard a rumor that Han Solo was going to die and the Millennium Falcon was going to get destroyed. obviously that rumor didn't come true, but it sounds like he was actually right if that was a valid report of what Harrison Ford was asking George Lucas to do.
Did your mate Darren get himself
Yeah.
a YouTube channel and call himself Doomcock?
Shit, it's Darren from
Yeah, I
school.
know Doomcock is. Well, yeah,
Maybe.
it could have been one of them rumours that was going around, but last minute changes.
Rumors. No, unlike that's what I'm saying. Unlike Doomcock, Darren's rumors were almost correct. You just confirmed it. Well, we know that when Doomcock says rumor, Jens goes, "Yeah, okay, tell me more." But for me, when Doomcock says rumor, that's just code for I'm about to tell you some shit that I just pulled out of my
Hey, no,
ass.
his latest rumour on
Yeah, go on.
Fantastic.
Fantastic Four.
I
Yeah,
said, yeah, Fantastic Four. I
yeah.
don't know if you were probably there, but
Was I? Who knows?
yeah, because I
Yeah.
don't really talk to Daytona much sensible conversations. So
No, it's just noises and big bag.
yeah. So it was rather you or DVB, but DVB haven't been here, so I'm sorry. So
Yeah.
the
What are you telling
Fantastic
me?
Four,
Yeah.
they had some reshoots because
Okay.
they didn't get a good test audience reaction
Oh,
when
because of Galactus or something.
no, it was the
Not enough
female.
Galactus. Too much
No,
Galactus.
well, there was a bit of complaint saying like he's only in it for like last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But
So what was the real problem
well, I
apart
was
from
trying to
Pedro
tell you.
Pascal?
Yeah, here we go. The female Silver Surfer, she sort of like doesn't save the day, as in like really cocks fucking the Fantastic Four, being fucking Mr. Fantastic himself, Reed
Okay.
Richards.
Hang on, if
But
she's female, shouldn't she be called the Silver Surfette?
yeah, you're right.
But anyway, sorry, carry on.
Well, so the Silver Surfer sort of like helps the end. I think people was like, oh yeah, it was a bit out of a character, and fucking once again, female fucking. Even though fucking I thought it'd be worse than that. I thought fucking Thingy was going to save the day. Fucking what's her name?
Not Thingy.
The Invisible Girl, whatever her name is.
I haven't seen her.
Yeah,
Yeah, Sue Richards. She's the leader
Reed
now,
Richards
isn't
is
she?
bitch. Yeah. Reed Richards is bitch. I thought she
In,
was good, but anyway.
is that her official title now?
Well, Duncombe said, "Oh yeah, there's
Invisible Girl Boss. That's what she should be called.
yeah."
There you go, Invisible Girl Boss. That's pretty good. Thanks, mate.
Well, Duncombe said, "Oh yeah." His sources said, like, yeah, the test screen audience didn't like it, so they're going to do some reshoots. And apparently, see, Critical Soy Drinker, he fucking said,
Critical
"Oh
liar.
yeah, reshoots are happening." So yeah, fucking, it, the rumor came true.
But that's one one of those circular rumors when people go, "Oh, there's reshoots." There's always reshoots. It's ended up being a
No.
standard YouTube conversation that these days they budget for reshoots, and every movie has reshoots. And so, if you're told that there's reshoots, it doesn't mean anything. But
No
I mean,
major
I don't know. I'm
reshoots.
not there.
Well, it was major reshoots. Not just.
Not as much as Solo or
No,
Rogue
it's
One,
like
where it's
no, but
80% of the movie they basically have to start again.
well, it was a major plot line reshoot anyway. Because reshoots,
Okay. Yeah.
reshoots you'll have you might have them like walking into a door or something like you needed or fucking.
I mean,
But
I believe in
when you're
reshoots because I
changing
do
the
believe
plot
that.
line to it, when you're doing reshoots that you're changing the plot line to it, they're like
Yeah.
major ones. So.
See, a retcon before the movie's out. Instant retcon.
Yeah,
Does that count?
yeah,
I
pretty
guess if you
much.
don't release the previous
Oh,
version, then no
well,
one knows it's a retcon.
well, it was thingy, wasn't the last fucking Soy Walker that had like a few major reshoots and that.
Rise of Soy
Three.
Walker. Well, and Solo and Rogue One. As I said, it was about 80%, wasn't it? They more or less reshot the entire movie and with a new director, both in the case of Solo and Rogue One, which is why hashtag Solo lost money. Because before
Yeah,
it
well,
was
anyway,
vanillas, wasn't it?
Well, anyway, Duncombe said there was going to
Lego.
be fucking reshoots, and there was. So, rumours, as I say, they're not always fucking right because of rumours, but
And when they are, it's an accident when it's Doomcock.
no,
But we'll see. I mean, maybe one of these days I'll sit down and watch all 4 Fantastic Four movies in a row.
no.
I haven't seen one yet. There's no reason to start now.
Oh,
I barely like them
I
in the
tell you what,
comic book.
you know the one that never got released because it was just to keep the fucking
Yeah,
RP or fucking
right.
that
Yeah,
was
yeah. For the
probably
comic, that was the first one, wasn't it? I think that was the best one in
yeah.
hindsight. Yeah,
That's probably the best
the
and
best
like
one.
more faithful and that one, but
Right.
it's really fucking corny because it was really cheaply made because they didn't fucking want to release it. They just wanted to make it so they could keep the film rights, wasn't it?
They had no intention. See, I'm no
Yeah.
expert on copyright law, but I would have thought it doesn't make any difference unless you actually release it. Didn't it go at least straight to DVD? No, you may be right. It wasn't released. Who
No,
knows? I
because
know.
it was one of them. Well, I think it, it was some clause in the contract that if they didn't make a fucking film in like 20 years or whatever, like they had the
They'd lose the
RP.
copyright on the characters.
Yeah, then the copyright could be up for other people to buy. And so that's
Okay.
why they made one that they knew was going to be fucking pretty poor.
I was just never that interested. Well, I'm not that
I
interested in
liked it though.
superheroes, but they're already married. It was like guaranteed no shagger every issue. Just
And like the thing is,
a
not
married
too bad.
couple going on adventures. Sounds exciting. Where do I sign up? Give me a subscription.
Yeah,
That's on 2 hours.
and the ones in the 90s weren't too bad. Where fucking, what's her name? You'll know her name.
Jessica Alba.
I think it could be the blonde-headed bear who looks like fucking.
Not bad for a Jessica. I mean, a blonde.
Yeah, she looks like a, a right stunner and that.
Yeah. Well, if she's married, she should just let herself go, you'd think. Unless
Oh,
she's
yeah.
glamming herself up for Galactus or Dr. Doomcock. Who knows? Anyway, 2 hours has gone way too quickly. I'm happy to do more, but I need a cup of tea break. So I'm going to go and put the kettle
Yeah,
on.
man,
I'm going to come
yeah.
back.
Oh, yeah,
So
I'll keep,
I'm
yeah.
going to leave you alone for about 5 minutes, if that's all right, Jens.
Yeah, man, yeah. I'll
All right.
fucking, like,
I'll
don't know
mute myself. I'll be right back.
Yeah, man,
AFK
yeah.
BRB.
Yeah, man, yeah. No one's in the fucking chat or out, so fucking no fucking use comments, and that's why I can't read any comments out. So no fucking. But I've got 2 viewers, or at least one, because Captain might be viewing. So yeah, I'll have to talk about some. Oh, we got fucking Captain in the fucking chat. So yeah, I've got a chat to read. He says AFK BRB. So a fucking quick sum up. Be right back. So yeah. Oh. Yeah, well, Fantastic Four. Yeah, saying the old version, that fucking that was pretty good. As I say, bit corny and that because the budget on it and that shit, And it was one of them where they didn't fucking have the like technology and all that shit to do real good, and so it was still pretty much fucking practical effects and that. Oh yeah, because the end scene. They're responsible for. Oh, well, I'll tell you right. The end scene spoilers because this fucking spoils the fact that like the Fantastic Four survive. But at the end scene, Mr. Fantastic's married fucking his bed. And as they're driving off in the limo, he sticks his arm out and waves, but you can tell it's just like a foam fucking arm, sort of like painted. I mean, made to look like Mr. Fantastic's arm, but it's just someone like just waggling it. It looks corny as fuck. But because it's like the last scene of the film and that, it's like, all right, well, yeah. Was you really going to spend like loads of fucking money on to get that end scene? Because there's like fight scenes and that, and the rest of the action was all right. Because there's some good fucking fight scenes with fucking the Thing, and like Johnny Storm's sort of like fucking effects are a bit sort of like dated, right? But still fucking for its time and that, you know, it's fucking watchable. So yeah, fucking. I mean, I'm like that fucking 80s version from the last one where it was fucking that thingy dude and a black Johnny Storm on it. The one where fucking Doctor Doom's sort of like fucking like a silver robot, but with a green fucking hood and cape. It's like, yeah. Apparently, like the fucking planet fucking merged on him, fucking in some experiment that was doing. But I prefer the old one to that one. And it was only the old one was only fucking budget of like $1 million, which probably nowadays is fucking probably about 10 million or whatever. But it was done for a fuck because like most films in them days, I think you was looking at like fucking 20 million or something for a fucking film, and so they did it on $1 million. Like, I liked it. So it's fucking good adaptation of fucking Fantastic Four. Is like quite a fucking faithful adaptation and all. So. One of them where there's like, yeah, let's get the fucking characters looking like fucking the ones in the comic book. Even though fucking in Total Recall and his character, not Quail in it. He's like a fucking normal sort of like average dude who works in an office. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, nah. We can't have Arnie working in an office. Even though they could have fucking put him in an office, but they look a bit stupid and I think so. Like, oh yeah, no, let's turn him into like a fucking builder or some other workman. So it's not looking fucking unrealistic like a big fucking dude like that is working. Even though that's Quaid's job. So fucking He's not even really a builder. He's really a secret agent, isn't he? You fucking. He's on a mission. So I'm gonna have to go into all this shit. As I say, this video, because if I'm gonna go into detail on that shit, fucking, I've got to explain the plot line to the film. Then I'm gonna have to explain fucking the reasons why the plot line isn't fucking a dream or a fucking recall, fucking brain emerism. And then I'm gonna have to go into fucking not real big deal, because most of it's going to be speculation and that shit of like the sort of fucking prequel film that could have been to what's happening. How Hauser is Quaid and that. I say one of that dumb cunt's fucking can't work it out and that. So I'm going to have to fucking try to explain to them exactly what's happened. Like it, probably a year. I think it's about a year or 6 months at least. Like the mission started and that. And you only see that. Oh, yeah, that's another fucking reason why it's not a recall. Because the recall trip lasts for 2 weeks. The film, it's about 3 or 4 days at the most. So you haven't even done a week's worth of fucking your ego
Total
trip.
prequel.
Yeah, total prequel. That's it.
So we've established they were married for 6 weeks because they're still having sex.
Yeah, it was 6 weeks because, as I say, I've got like halfway through the film because I'm at that stage where I should be doing it and that shit, but because I know it's going to be a fucking job to do, I'm putting it off like a lazy cunt. But anyway.
Yeah, now you've said it. Exactly. Don't be like old man Bird making promises with your mouth that your ass can't cash.
Well, I made a few promises and that like hopefully I'll fucking do. But anyway, it's one of them where she admits to Quaid because Quaid's gonna blow her head off because she's trying to fucking kill him.
It was what? Right? Yeah, Laurie.
Yeah, Laurie.
Whatever her name is.
Yeah. She tells him that she's never seen him before and that until 6 weeks ago, where she was told to fucking pretend that you're his wife and to watch out for him because they know he's had his memory fucking
reprogrammed.
So yeah, so they know he's not Quaid.
They know he's Hauser because they know him.
Yeah,
what if
unless
it was a clone? What if there was a Quaid and a Hauser? See, it's the opposite of cloning. It's 2 personalities in one body. With cloning, it's 1 personality in 2 bodies. Ah.
Yeah, but as I'm going to explain in this fucking bit where I'm going for prequel and all this shit, that they don't know what I was up to. And because they don't know what I was up to.
Yeah. I mean, Laurie must know. So Laurie knows, Cohagen-Das knows.
No, Laurie doesn't
knew,
fucking know. I told you, no one knows. No one knows
Yeah, you
apart
did tell
from
me.
two
I know. I
people.
love it when you say I told you in that patron. I know
No,
you told me, but Laurie knows because she's there on the mission, so she knows.
no, she doesn't know what his mission is.
No, but she knows she's on a mission.
Yeah, she's on a mission to watch out for fucking
She
Hauser,
knows he's
who thinks it's
Hauser.
Quaid. She knows it's Hauser, who thinks it's
Right.
Quaid, but she doesn't
Yeah, there you
know
go. Fucking
fucking
told you.
who Hauser is. And because she doesn't know who Hauser is, because she's only met him fucking like 6 weeks ago, and
Yeah.
when she met him
Yeah.
as fucking Quaid.
Really? But I thought the whole point of the mission was that Hauser wanted to shag Richter's girlfriend, so he must have met her as Hauser. Which came
No,
first,
but I
the
said
wanting to
no, but I
shag
said that
Laurie?
no, but I said that I just fucking like fucked that up because
Right.
I
What are you, the
forgot
writer?
that like they don't know about. I just wanted the like story joke of
Right.
fucking Hauser going to Richter. Richter, it's for the mission. I need to fuck your missus for the mission, Richter.
Just one more, just to make it realistic.
Yeah, but that didn't happen though. That was just me fucking going down the comical route and
Get
like
to my
totally
chopper.
and totally fucking up the
That's
like
pretty good.
fucking storyline.
That's good. Write that down. Get to my chopper.
Although think
Yeah.
about it,
Yeah.
it could have done that and then got Richter and fuck to get his mind wiped so he can't even remember the fucking recall, and so he doesn't even know about the mission.
Right. I'm so
Yeah, but
confused
anyway, it's a bit
now.
too complicated on this fucking. But I'll have to do the video. It'll be one of them, Captain, right, where
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna like I could start it from the beginning, but then it could get a bit confusing to people who haven't seen the film. So I'm gonna have to go through the film first, and then once
Yeah.
I've gone through the film and like
Yeah.
the points of like where it's fucking not like thingy, that's when I'm gonna have to fucking explain the like prequel to it. So probably
Right.
about halfway through this video
Yeah.
is where the prequel will start, and so that's where you want to fucking take notes of. I'll be explaining of like how the mission went down.
Right. How it happens, and then how she
Yeah.
went down. Exactly.
How went
Yeah.
fucking how wet.
So yeah.
Yeah, I'm
'Cause
sure. I'm sure she hates fucking him. All right. I'm sure she hates fucking what we called him.
I'm sure she hated every minute of it.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to your 4-hour video, Jens, because there is a lot to pick apart there. I think it shows the creative genius of Philip K. Dick, that from one short story, we've got a very exciting masculine action Arnie film with a lot to think about. And some sex. Two shagger.
Yeah. Well, I was saying fucking media fucking very
Transmedia canonical verisimilitude.
yeah. Fucking in the book, he's just a no Quail is just a normal dude.
He's an
who's working
accountant or
in an
something,
office
isn't he?
building.
He's not on the building site. That was because it's Arnie.
Yeah, well, that
I think he's
was
meant to
like
be a
one of the
pen
things.
pusher, because that's the whole point. He's not meant to be built like a secret agent. I'm sure it says specifically in the short story that he's a wiry framed man or something like that. He's not
But
bulked out like Arnie.
but fucking James Bond is well. In fact, though, James
Well,
Bond
he's
is
somewhere between Arnie and Mr. Bean.
yeah. But secret agents, like, you don't have to be fucking real big. You just like the
Exactly.
Bourne. Well,
But
in the
you can't be
Bourne
real
supremacy,
small,
like
like.
you just got to know how to fucking look after yourself, and he does in the film.
Exactly.
Because
I ain't got time to bleed. Oh no, that's the other guy. Wrong movie, wrong character.
Although Quail, apparently, he knows how to look after himself, because the bit where the fucking workmate thinks he's
Quail in the book, then.
fucking thinks he's fucking let the mission down by letting fucking Hauser, who he knows is Hauser, but thinks he's fucking Quaid, go to Total Recall because his job was to fucking talk him out of it. But because he went and that, he thinks fucking, as I'm going to explain in my video and that shit. Yeah.
Because his mate didn't do a very good job of stopping Quaid from going to Recall. But then
he thinks he's fucking fucked up and that. And that fucking, the best thing to do is to kill fucking Quaid and that, so he doesn't go to Recall no more.
It is a bit of a smacks of a bit of a plot contrivance. His best mate at work and suddenly wants to shoot him. It's like, well, let's have some violence now. Suddenly it's not just that he beats them up or runs away. He just shoots all of them. I killed them all. I killed them.
Yeah.
Look, Laurie, look at the blood.
Yeah. Does this look like a fucking dream or whatever he said?
Whatever he said. Yeah, what did he say? Whatever it was. Yeah. Does this look like a bunch of wank I'm making up?
Yeah. Well, anyway,
there's a lot to pick apart.
Fucking is one of them where fucking that happens in the book.
You made me realise I've had a new science fiction thought that memory implants is the opposite of cloning. So the risk of repeating myself. If you have a memory implant like Hauser, you get two personalities in one body. Get Quaid. But with cloning, you get one personality across two bodies. What if you clone someone and one of them went to Recall? Then you'd have a Quaid and a Hauser.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to think about that later today. That's a brand new science fiction thought. Once again, this is the quality content that you subscribe for, DBB citizen.
What would happen there is you'd clone fucking Hauser.
Right.
And then the body, obviously, you'd have some kind of fucking
you send a duplicate to Recall to the original
where you'd have a fucking full grown fucking adult version of Hauser, and then you just transfer Quaid's fucking memory implant into the clone
body of the clone.
Yeah, and then
that means the clone's
getting body.
But then the clone's doing the shagging with Laurie.
Quaid and Hauser can fight it out to see who fucking gets to be fucking
the real Hauser.
Yeah.
Quaid.
Well, yeah.
The loser gets to be the taxi driver. I got 5 kids to feed. It was 6.
Oh yeah, well, one of them where I haven't got to that park. I've just got to where he's got mad, but all that's where fucking. He's like fucking, in my theory, he's been told, like, yeah, sooner or later, you're going to see a big fucking Austrian dude called Quaid get in to fucking get your taxi, yeah.
Mars, but it's dry, ugly, stupid, and boring. Oh, so's your mum, but we visited her last.
Oh, I tell you, it's one of them where I've got like pretty much like the plot line, even though, as I say, some of it's speculation and that. Well, you know, oh God, but yeah, got most of the plot line and that, and fucking just fucking getting it on video. There we go. Yeah,
I cloned myself. This is Captain Quaid.
Yeah, I was saying, I've got most of the plot line and fucking me speculative theories now and that shit. Because I've been thinking about it and that, and so I've just got to get it down on video now.
No, that's good. Because that's the other thing is when you get to a certain point of trying to figure out what happens in a movie, especially when you've got to infer things that only happen off screen. And
Mm,
remember, folks, if it's off screen, it did happen. If it's on screen, it didn't happen. Usual suspects.
mm.
Is that after a certain point, when you cross that line, that threshold into things that may or may not have happened, that's when you get to the point, or when I get to the point where I'm like, at this point, I might as well just be writing my own story. But that's a beautiful, natural jump that you get to make. You're like, I've analysed this story so much, I no longer care so
Oh
much
yeah.
about the movie. I'm just going to do it my way. So that's,
Well, no,
and that's quite
no.
free.
Well, no. It's like where I've got to know that much of the movie. I can think like the fucking writers and pretty
Yeah,
much write what they would
what
have
they
been
would have written.
thinking. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so, but it is one of them where I am basically fucking filling in blank spaces where there might be a few, like with the fucking Total Recall bit where he sees I think it's called Alania or whatever it is, the sleazy, uh,
Melania.
yeah, Melania, the sleazy fucking
Demure
demure
and
brunette.
sleazy.
Yeah, yeah. As I say,
Don't know how that works
he's
to this day, but
he's easily fucking
I mean, demure and sleazy, is that concurrently or consecutively? Anyway.
but yeah, it's easily fucking explained by she was rather working as a model or
That's,
her
yeah,
twin
thanks to what?
or her twin sister that she's never met because
Identical twin sister.
yeah, yeah, cheers, man, yeah,
I
identical
would do
twin
that.
sister that she
Or
never met.
clone.
I got
Yeah. Got a
oh
modelling
yeah,
clone.
there's the one or a clone maybe,
Or a
got a
replicant.
model, yeah, you see, or a doppelganger,
Or a
which
doppelganger. Or
yeah,
she's
yeah,
from
you
another
know what I mean?
universe. It's a Total Recall multiverse. It's Melina B from Universe
Well,
B. Multiverse,
well,
multiverse, multiverse.
well, there's sort of like four explanations why the leader could have been looking like in actually fucking pretty much does exactly the same of the character.
Do you know what?
In short,
Actually, Jens,
recall fucking thingy. Yeah,
another
as I say,
special
so
moment,
like yeah,
Jens.
speculation. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
that thingy dude, Ninja Bear. He said fucking in the book. It does say fucking she was working at the agency, but I don't know if it's right because I haven't seen that part in the book.
Because
But
he was trying to convince you that it isn't a dream. Then he gave you a reason why it is a dream by explaining how he dreamt about Melania before he met her, because he had met her, because she's real, because he dreamt her, because she's real. And
yeah,
that's
yeah,
why.
but yeah, yeah, but as I say, there would have been there's more than one there's more than one recall fucking center. So
Right, it's a franchise. There's one
yeah,
on Mars and there's two up Uranus.
yeah, yes. So fucking she could have easily fucking been spotted, but oh, we're looking for a sleazy fucking
Demure.
demure brunette,
You'll
athletic
do.
build. Yeah. Oh, you're
Yeah,
fucking.
that's how I like to get my cosplay models. I'm looking for someone sleazy and demure. Oi, you'll do.
Yeah, and another thing I know, when you describe someone, it's no surprise that the person that's gonna fucking pick is gonna look fucking pretty similar to fucking who you're describing.
Yeah, because that's what you picked, isn't it?
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. So like, yeah, that one I'm debunking easy in that shit.
Yeah. I think psychologically, because I'm still having the Blade Runner Deckard discussion, actually with a few new channels. I think once people make their own decision, it's just human psychology. They'll just throw in any shit that sounds like a good argument to back it up, whether it's valid or not. And that's what I'm realizing. And I'll give you an
Hmm.
example on the Deckard question, which I won't get into because we see it differently.
No,
But
can
some,
do.
well, there's just that someone was going, "Oh, I don't care what the director says. La la la. I'm ignoring the director, and that,
Uh,
but which is fine. But then they
mm,
said, but Harrison Ford says, I'm like, so I've got to tell him next week. I'm sorry, but you can ignore what the director says. Death of the Author. You can't ignore the director and then listen to the actor. That's just sheer. That's cherry picking, isn't it?
Yeah,
because Harrison Ford
hearing
decided.
there, isn't it? It's selective hearing, probably because Harrison
exactly.
Ford backs up his answer, but fucking the director doesn't. But
exactly, that's what I'm saying. So exactly, there's no logic. So again, if someone wants to ignore the fact that Ridley Scott very clearly answered the Deckard question back in 1982, and if it's not relevant, then why is Robert Meyer Burnett and Critical Drinker lying about it? But anyway, the point is you can choose to ignore pronouncements made outside of the actual movie. It's called Death of the Author. And to add more complications, Ridley Scott isn't the author, he's the director, he's the auteur. So it actually is Death of the Auteur. But the point is, you can't ignore Ridley Scott and then listen to Harrison Ford. What are you going to do next? Ask the key grip and the dolly operator. For fuck's sake, you dumb cunts, you know who you are. Plus, another thing, it makes sense that Harrison Ford thinks Deckard's a human because Deckard thinks that Deckard's a human, doesn't he? So, of course, Harrison Ford should play Deckard as a human because Deckard thinks Deckard's a human. Whether he's a replicant or not, just so we don't have that argument now, whether Deckard's a replicant or not, everyone needs to agree, observe, and admit that in the movie Blade Runner, Deckard thinks that Deckard is a human. So, of course, Deckard should play Deckard as a human.
Yeah. Well, debate and all. Oh, he's a replicant. She
exactly.
plays
no debate there. Rachel's a replicant and she thinks she's a human, which establishes that you can be a replicant.
Plays it as a human.
Bit robotic as well, I thought. I thought that was actually very clever of her.
Well, I always thought, like, because of the fucking dreary fucking settings, I always thought, like, she was just a human that was a bit depressed. But when you know she's a replicant, it's like, oh, that makes perfect sense while she just stands there looking like fucking she's watching paint dry.
Like a wet dinner or whatever it is. Like a wet place, like a wet Saturday.
Yeah. Well,
not in a good way either, folks.
But back then, you are right though. That is why that question is like thinking where I believe he is a human, but I just say, if the question is Deckard so fucking a sophisticated fucking replicant? He doesn't know he's a replicant, like the bed.
It's basically like Quaid. He's a replicant with a memory implant. That's the whole point. It's memory implants. I mean, it's not just coincidence that both do androids.
Well, no, you are wrong though, because like,
but both movies are based on writings.
Fucking like retcons it to be his human. So
basically, both movies come from Philip K. Dick. So it makes obviously Philip K. Dick had a few obsessions, but one of them was memory implants. I think he used to just basically, get off his head at night thinking, oh, I wonder if my entire life's just been a dream. How do I know? He just got too into the whole, what if my memories aren't real?
Probably took a lot of acid.
Exactly. Or whatever it was. Yeah, right, exactly. So that's actually a through line.
Look, Captain.
Yeah.
Anyone who's fucking around in the 60s did acid if there was fucking in show business.
Pretty much. Apart from Terry Gilliam, apparently, who denies it to this day.
Oh, yeah, he did them crazy fucking...
I know you think he's the first one to take it.
Yeah.
I think he's lying for legal reasons.
Monty Python's flying...
Circus. Monkeys? Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Of all the fucking pythons, of all the people in the 60s to say I've never taken acid, Terry Gilliam, really? Are you sure? But that's his claim. I've got it in writing. He denies ever taking acid.
He could be one of them where he don't want his fucking mum to know or something.
Exactly. So he's just lying. But the point, whatever the reason is, that with Philip K. Dick, he obviously got right into the, because it is one of those thoughts. It could be true. What if the entire universe was only created 5 minutes ago, Jens, and everything is a false memory? Well, that means I've never actually really upset Jill, so she should be on her show because she's just got false memory. Anyway, the point is,
I told you, but you won't do it.
Oh, no, it's true.
You know,
keep going back to that.
This is what you want to do, Captain, right?
Yeah.
Fucking get yourself some soy milk and drink 3 or 4 pints of
I'm
it.
not. First of all, it's not soy drink. Isn't milk? That's the thing. There's no cow involved. It comes from beans.
I know, but if you drink 3 or 4 pints of it, you'll be willing to be fucking acting like a soy cunt
It's
on
not going to happen.
No, well,
It's not going to happen,
I
Jens.
don't blame you, Captain. I don't blame you because fucking I'm not losing my fucking testicle to go on any fucking stream. So yeah, I don't
Exactly.
blame what you're saying though.
So
It
just to be
works for
clear to
Scotty.
Jill
It
and
fucking
Tony.
it works for Scotty. That's what I'm saying. So
Right. I mean, just to be clear, I'd love to come on Scotty, Jill, and Tony's show.
Come on, Scotty and Jill. Oh, come on, Captain. Fucking no
But
one
I
will have you
won't
on the show, yeah?
compromise my abrasive personality to manage that feat. So, Jill, Tony, and Scotty, if you ever have me on one of your shows, I'm going to be like this. So, I'm not going to change. Again, I don't want to be doing the shouting and the talking over so much, but I will call out people like Tiger Stripes for talking bullshit about the ozone layer or that New Zealand isn't its own continent when it fucking is. That was a great show. That was someone in the chat going, no, actually, Captain's right. Tiger Stripes is wrong.
Yeah, it just seemed weird though. Like, I remember fucking. I was thinking it wasn't a fucking content, but yeah.
Well, it goes back to the point I made earlier. I'm not going to come on the show and tell you the sky is blue. I'm here to give you controversial facts that you don't know about, you damn cunts. I'm not going to go, oh, did you know that Europe's a continent? I mean, fuck, everyone knows that, apart from the Soy-Fi Nation, judging from his fucking history of risk.
Oh,
That
yeah.
dumb cunt doesn't know a country from a continent. Of course, Australia is a continent,
What?
continent.
Well, that dumb cunt fucking doesn't know fucking the rules of a game he's fucking playing.
Exactly.
Because he's one of them where I said to him, how many consonants is there on risk? I made sure it was on risk because I know there is 7 consonants in the world, but in risk. They don't use the fucking North and South Pole sort of shit. So,
and there's no New Zealand on the map, so therefore that continent's not there. It's Europe, Africa, America. Well, we know what the continents are: Asia, Australia, Australasia, and no Antarctica.
Well, there's 6. New Zealand. And so fucking when you're playing risk, you need you back me up on this, Captain.
Yeah.
When you're playing risk, you need to know how many continents there is, and then need to know fucking how many fucking territories you need for that continent. Yeah.
Australia 4, South America 4, North America 12, 7.
Do you remember when he fucking thought he took Australia because he
thought he took
Australia? The whole but you need them 2 fucking other little.
You need the other 3 territories first. It's already the smallest fucking continent. Exactly, 1 territory. Damn cunt. No wonder he lost his channel.
Well, one of them where he was playing a game, he didn't know the fucking rule, and it must have been
no excuse for losing.
Well, it must have been about 2 or 3 fucking months of me and you fucking winding him up about him not knowing fucking how many continents there is in risk until he fucking realised, oh yeah, there is 6. Well,
I want a fucking rematch with Spidey, Scotty, you, me. I think that's enough. Well, yeah,
I'm the champion.
You're only as good as your last game, Jens.
I'm the champion. You're only as good as your last game. I'm the champion. I don't fucking need to prove myself with you amateurs. One of you amateurs need to prove yourself to me.
It doesn't count if you're not there for the whole game, Jens.
I was there for the old game, of both of the old games, because fucking
2 years ago, Jens. 2 years ago. You're only as good as your last game, so I want a new game. I want a new game. So I'm going to get the board out. I want a new game of Risk.
Hey,
mind you, it's so hard to. Anyway,
you know why I won? You know why I won? Because I had fucking the live and let dice. Fucking
6 and a 4.
Who was it? Who was it that did that live and let dice fucking thing?
Live and let dice.
Yeah, he did it real good and all.
I was making a point about Quaid and Deckard. Got off the track there. We got too excited. Too many topics. But yeah, Quaid and basically, if Deckard's going back to what we were talking about, Deckard is a replicant, but he thinks he's a human. That's comparable, but not identical, but definitely comparable to Quaid. Thinks he's a Quaid, but he's actually
Yeah.
Elsa.
Hauser.
Yeah, so it's not a replicant, but there's a through line of false memories. Deckard thinks he's a human, and Quaid thinks he's Quaid, but Quaid is Hauser. And the question is whether Deckard's actually Deckard's Deckard, but what? It's not who is he. So the question with Quaid is who is he. The question with Deckard is what is he.
Yeah. Yes, he's
Oh,
human, but
yeah,
you say he's a replicant. So yeah, we agree to disagree on that one.
yeah. I mean, I've changed my mind on it a few times. It's one of those where I'm even thinking. I'm even getting to the point where does it matter if I tell people what I think? Is it because, as I keep saying, you can't be the judge and one of the people arguing. So if I'm going to be the judge, I shouldn't have an opinion. But I do defer to Tony's point because Doomcock's got 17 different reasons why Deckard's a replicant, but Tony's got one, and I think that's all you need. But that's where I'd like to see Tony debate you because it'd be like the time travel, but with more shouting and singing and German.
That's it, Sean.
But no, this is great for the first time ever. Jens, I'm realizing that there is a through line between Deckard and Quaid. They've both got memory
Yeah.
implants. That's quite, unless Deckard hasn't, of course. But that's at least the question. Is yeah. With Quaid, it's who is he? With Deckard, it's what is he?
Yeah, and
But
both characters get really fucked up by fucking
birds.
the people. Well, Quaid, when he's fucking
Quaid
at
gets
the end
kicked
of
in
the
the
film,
nuts.
yeah, right. Quaid, when he's at the end of the film and his fucking eyes are popping out, and luckily enough, he did start the reaccess. So
Yeah, it
fucking
was a bit close, wasn't it?
yeah,
A bit exciting. That was down to the wire. That was. Once your eyes are popping out, game over, man.
yeah.
Game
That
over.
yeah. I always thought his eyes would fucking be like sort of like hanging out with his face and that. Even though he'd survive, he'd probably have to have eye surgery. But anyway, I'm not
It
going to
seems a bit
spoil the
much.
film. And then
Yeah. Spoiler.
Deckard at the end of fucking near the end where fucking what's fucking Rutger
Rachel?
Hauer's no Rutger Hauer
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
character.
Roy Batty.
Yeah, when Roy Batty's battering the fuck out of fucking
Yeah.
he
This is
breaks
for
his
Pris.
fingers in that. But
This is for
he
Zora.
he's in that film, fucking Roy Batty could have killed fucking Deckard, but because
He
he's human.
spared him.
But he feels sort of pity for him in that, doesn't he? And then lets him live so he can like tell him about his time fucking watching
Wow,
planets
that's
and
funny you
stuff.
should say that because there's even different theories about why Roy Batty saved Deckard. And a small detail that nobody noticed apart from me, back when we were talking, I even informed Doomcock, he won't credit me, but the last thing Deckard does before slipping off that building is he does a big fucking spit. He spits at Batty just as he's
Yeah.
about to fall off. Instead of begging for mercy, Rick Deckard, whether a human or a replicant, does a great big fucking greenie at Roy Batty. And Roy
Oh,
Batty
human.
say, I mean, you rewatch it, it's right there. No one sees it, but it's
Yeah, yeah,
there.
yeah.
You're welcome. So Roy Batty arguably saves Deckard because he respects him for spitting at him, basically, for having some for not being a soy nerd bitch, Jens. Rick
Yeah.
Deckard lived because he wasn't a soy nerd bitch.
He
His
was
last act of
masculine.
defiance before he became a
Yeah,
pavement pizza was flobbing at his opponent. If I was
yeah,
fighting you, I'd spit in your face before dying.
yeah, yeah.
Not in a
If you're
good
not a
way
soy
either.
nerd bitch and you don't want to beg for your own life and like
Exactly. I fight like a cut. That's why I don't get into fights because I will kill a motherfucker. It's binary, bro. I'm afraid of
oh
getting into
yeah.
fights, not for me, for the other person. I'll lose
No,
control and smash him up until there's nothing left but pulp.
yeah. Well, the last thing fucking you want when you're beating up a masculine dude is for them to beg for you to buy him a She-Hulk doll and leave him
Oh, that's the
alone.
last thing you want. No, you want them to hate you so you can keep punching them and just get it all out your system until they're fucking brown bread, innit?
Well,
Allegedly. in
Yeah,
Minecraft,
whereas the masculine though, you like let them live, like Batty
I
did.
guess. I don't know. If I go out there and there's one more person telling me there's only one timeline in Back to the Future, fists might start flying. I'll take
Which
any
silly
answer
cunt
apart
says
from
that?
one timeline.
Which silly bat? It's a time machine. Fuck it. As I say, unless you go back in time and you don't disturb anything, and then
Agreed.
you go forward back in time, and you haven't
Like 12
fucking
Monkeys.
yeah. Well, no, well, that's sort of
Well,
like
12 Monkeys, you can't disturb
it's a
anything.
closed
All the
loop, don't
changes
it?
you make.
So he did go back in time, but it's sort of like there's a
He'd
sort of
always
like
gone back in
roundabout.
time. He went, in the case of 12 Monkeys, he went to the past before he left the present. He
No,
arrived before he left.
no, but I was saying if
Yeah.
you did a time travel film where
Yeah.
it was about
Got
safe
to the
time
Fuhrer.
travel, where you just saw these people,
Yeah.
it'd be boring as fuck. It'd be boring as fuck. That's why they'd never do a fucking safe time
Oh no,
travel
we haven't
film.
changed anything. There's no dramatic tension.
Yeah. So just go back. They go, they go back to the past. Fucking don't disturb anything. Fucking have a
Don't do
look
anything.
around.
Don't
Maybe
shag
take a few
anyone.
fucking pictures or whatever, and then go back to their own timeline. And it's like that's one timeline because it saved time travel. But obviously, in time travel films, you always want the fucking
The
fucking
risk
line
of
to change because that makes it fucking a time fucking travel film instead of a
that.
safe time travel film.
Yes, that is a new one of the last realizations I had is that's the whole reason or the cause of the dramatic tension in most time travel movies and stories.
Oh yeah.
Movies are story, you know what I mean? Movies, books, comics, whatever. Is they're all running around going, "Oh no, we can't change the past." Ah! That's the whole.
Yeah,
Or in a couple of movies, it's we must change the past, like the
yeah.
Butterfly Effect. Yeah, even Indiana Jones and the whatever it is, the Dial of Bollocks. They're like, "Oh, Dr. Jones, we've got to leave Syracuse because you might change history," which actually dovetails into your safe versus dangerous time travel, which I've also written an essay about because you asked for one, but not today. Not today, Jens. But I've got one ready for you because
Hey,
you're right about the concept of safe time travel. So I've actually expanded it into four. There's safe and there's dangerous time travel, but then you can subdivide it. There's dangerous and there's impossible time travel, which is when you prevent your own birth, and there's safe and 12 monkeys perfect time travel where you can make changes because you already did make the changes. So you're right, Jens. You are right. There is safe and unsafe time travel. There is an essay coming. But anyway, enough about it. Not today with the time travel. Let's give our brains a break. Back to the canon.
yeah.
I'll tell you what, it's a good show today. We're just yapping about anything with no one in the chat, and 3 hours has flown by. This is awesome.
Yeah. Well, here we go. You got the floor for 2 minutes. I need to piss.
All right, you have a piss, and I'll tell the people out there. Right, so Back to the Future, no sequels, 3 timelines, all on screen. There's 3 Marty McFlys by the end of the movie, 1 for each timeline, but there's only 2 Doc Browns. There's only 2 Doc Browns. Here's another new realization, relatively new for you newbies and you oldies, that basically poor Marty A, the plucky hero, the protagonist of Back to the Future, when Doc B. Brown in 1985 disappears for 30 years, don't think about the fact that he comes back because until he comes back, he hasn't come back. And therefore, Marty A has to spend 30 years in timeline B with Jen B, who's someone else's girlfriend, not his, waiting for Doc B. Brown to show up, doesn't he? So a 30-year wait for poor old Marty A. His Doc Brown is dead. The other Doc Brown that got the note, Doc Brown B in Timeline B, disappears for 30 years. He's a missing person. Poor old Marty A. He's so bored. That's why he has kids, Marty A and Jen B. But then, of course, as we know, Doc B. Brown then goes backwards to 1985. But of course, every time DVB's law, no, it's Bird of Prey's law, that's right. Every time you go back in time, Bird of Prey law, Kapla, Bird of Prey 5, you create a new timeline. It's interesting because we see this not from the point of view of the time traveler, Doc Brown. They didn't have the budget to film 2015 and Back to the Future 1, or indeed Back to the Future as they called it, because the sequels hadn't been written yet. Anywho, point being, when you're rewatching Back to the Future, folks, you get to see Marty A and Jen B about to have kids in timeline B, present as Doc B. Brown arrives, thus instantly creating timeline C. Side note, that means Jens does approve of the idea that arriving creates a new timeline. He doesn't think so for timeline B, but he does for timeline C. So you actually witness with your own eyes Marty A and Jen B becoming Marty C and Gen C, because you witness with your own eyes the creation of Timeline C by Doc B. Brown, travelling from 2015 of Timeline B, where Marty A and Gen B have kids, going to 1985, creating Timeline C, where Marty C and Gen C don't have kids because they get back into the DeLorean, or in Jen's case, into the DeLorean for the first time, DeLorean B, with Doc B. Brown. So it's Doc B in Timeline C, with Marty C created from Marty A, and Gen C created from Gen B. And they all get in DeLorean, go to 2015, and that's why when they get there, Marty and Jen aren't there because they're in the fucking DeLorean. Thank you and good night. Did you wash your hands, Jens?
Yeah.
Good.
No, what I said is, if you go back in time,
Backwards.
you don't automatically create a new timeline if you don't disturb anything. But
so
if you do disturb anything, like Doc Brown, when he comes back from 2015, he disturbs that timeline by interacting with Marty and his bed.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, okay. And so
I'll accept that. All right, you are self-consistent.
And so that does create a new timeline. If you go into a timeline and you disturb it, then you create a new one. But if you go into a timeline and you don't disturb anything and you get the fuck out of there, then you don't create a new timeline.
Okay. For anyone out there whose brain hasn't melted, I think DVB is probably the only person that can follow this conversation. Jens and I disagree on this detail, but this is where I respect agreeing to disagree with someone, because Jens is, as he's just confirmed to me, internally consistent. So, yeah, all right, I'll take that. I thought I'd caught you out there. Well done, Jens. You talked yourself out of it. All right. We disagree, but you're still internally consistent. I'll grant you that.
Yeah. Well, as I say, well, me and you, even though fucking you disagree. Need to fucking appreciate them off-screen timelines.
Yeah.
We have the ability. We have the ability to think about a film how we perceive it.
Right.
Unlike some people who can't do that, and so they'll like see it as whether they fucking Googled to see the YouTube video.
And it's just headcanon. Because the thing is, but when it's our perceptions, we're trying very hard to basically accept what the filmmakers make, apart from when they contradict themselves or contradict rational canon, which is why I disavow headcanon, but I also disavow the disappearing hand of Marty, because there's no malleable timelines. So just to clarify, because I'm waiting for someone else out there to catch me in an apparent contradiction. Oh, Captain, you don't like headcanon, yet you cannot accept Marty's disappearing hand. Yeah, because it wouldn't disappear because of Clobby's law. Because if Marty's hand disappeared, then Marty disappeared, and then Marty disappeared, he doesn't exist. He doesn't. So yes, I accept canon as presented by the author, by the movie, the book, the comic, or whatever, until it contradicts itself, like the two scenes in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the way we can think it through.
I told you, didn't I? It was one of them where it was too complicated, lots of drugs, fucking. Oh,
they're all hungover. It was, to be fair, Jens figured that one out. Yeah, we were all projecting our own ideas on it. I was going, that must be a parallel universe. And my favourite one was from, well, I won't mention who it was to save them getting embarrassed for their stupid idea projection, but Catherine from the Phantasmagorium, the otherwise usually very intelligent Catherine, started giving us fucking bullshit about, oh, it's unreliable narration. Oh, it changes because this is now shot from Jules's point of view. No, it isn't, because they're on the other side of the diner. They can't even hear him, you dumb cunt. No offence. So I retract the calling you a dumb cunt. I forgot you're not a guy. But yeah, so it's not an unreliable narration, and it's also not a parallel universe. I was wrong, Catherine was wrong, Jens was right. Basically, too much cocaine allegedly the previous night. They're all hungover, and Quentin Tarantino couldn't keep track of his own fucking script. Dumb cunt. It was a
I think he
mistake,
did,
folks.
but like she fucking fucks it up. But he probably
No,
thought,
I
well,
bought the script. It was in the script, written inconsistently. She read it right. He wrote it wrong. Of course, I can't prove it because I burnt the script. Oh no, I
yeah,
kept
well,
those
no,
bits.
no, he wrote it just once that she had to repeat, but she fucking when she repeated it, she fucking fucks it up slightly, and Tarantino probably thought, well, fuck it, that's close enough. There's only going to be one pedantic bastard out there who's going to buy the script.
Hello. Well,
Yeah,
I only noticed because I bought the soundtrack. That's what it is. Because one of
yeah.
the because the soundtrack starts off with "I'll execute every motherfucking last one of you," and so then once you've listened to the soundtrack 100,000 times, you go back and watch the movie, and she goes, "I'll execute every last one of you motherfuckers." You're like, "Hang on a minute, that's not
Mm,
the same on this." So to be fair, I didn't notice from watching the movie. I noticed by comparing the movie to the soundtrack.
yeah.
But
Go
that's one of
on,
my. I mean, I'm thinking, is Pulp Fiction the only movie ever made that shows the same scene twice from a different point of view? Because I'm wondering if there are any other movies that have done that, and if so, did they fuck it up also?
well, yeah, there is some movies out there I can't think of, but I remember the
There must be one.
fucking episode of Everyone Loves Raymond.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not familiar with that one, but I've heard of it.
Well, yeah, it's a comedy program and that sort of thing, like a family
Okay.
comedy program. Like,
Okay, it's not the autobiography of Raymond Feliciano. Gotcha.
yeah,
Shout out
well,
Raymond.
there was like one episode
Got some
where,
TV.
but it was deliberately fucking that was done from different points of view. So every sort of like point of view was different, but it was one where Raymond he opened a can of tuna, and what Americans call tuna juice, which is not, it's the fucking brine.
Right. Yeah.
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 Well, they call it tuna juice.
I mean, that's
I
like
know.
the Rashomon effect.
I was laughing my fucking tits off on that. Hey, honey, what's what's that liquid shit around the tuna when I open it? Oh, that called juice, honey. It'll be okay. All right. Even though it fucking clearly will state tuna in brine. But anyway, there's a bit where he's opening a can of tuna and he gets some tuna brine on his
Yeah.
hand and that. And the way he tells it and that, fucking, he's all like, oh, oh yeah, you just have to wash my hands and like she was giving me shit, and then the way she tells it, he's acting like a bitch when he's like, oh man, I need a towel and all this shit, and then I think,
Well, to be fair to Catherine, I mean, I haven't seen, but that sounds like the Rashomon effect, where they film it deliberately differently because they're not
mm,
filming what happened; they're filming the unreliable narration, which goes back to which I don't approve of. You can't film a subjective retelling of a story. You can have an unreliable narrator,
yeah,
but
yeah,
you
oh,
can't
oh,
film an unreliable. That's why I can't stand the Rashomon trope. Any movie that has the Rashomon trope, including Rashomon,
no,
is a
but
load of shit. So
yeah,
to be
but
fair to Catherine, that's when it does happen. But
no, but
Pulp
I
Fiction
think
ain't that.
no, but I think like the brother fucking like tells the story, and this is
Yeah,
like fucking what really happened, sort of thing.
right. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, that's the thing is when you've got an unreliable narrator, don't go filming their story. It should be carried by the actor. That's the problem with the Last Jedi. I mean, the
Yeah,
Last
the
Jedi
top
does
of the
it. It
end.
goes back to the Last Jedi. You get two or even three, apparently, really, two different tellings of what happened between Luke and Kylie. So that again, they shouldn't do that. Don't film both versions, and certainly don't not resolve it. Do resolve it. And Ruin Johnson didn't resolve it. And he's still sniffing around for another Star Wars film. Listen, Ruin, you didn't resolve your unreliable narrations. You didn't get your trilogy. You're not getting a Star Wars movie. So just fuck off. You are unemployed. Hey, what do you see? What do you say to Ryan Johnson if you ever see him in real life? Yes, I will max those fries, please.
And then I'm sure there was like a fucking who done it sort of thingy where like everyone sort of like was telling their story and then it works out like fucking the one who did it is
Oh, that his Knives Out bollocks.
no, I didn't watch that now. I think it was fucking 80s film or something like that.
Oh, not by Ruin. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, 30 something. There's an obscure one, but if anyone remembers the late 1989 to 1990 dramedy or drama 30 something, there was an episode with, I remember, I think it was the first time I saw it happen. Must have been before I ever saw any part of Rashomon. Is they had a different retelling. So yeah, just the filming of the Unreal. Well, I think everyone knows by now. Any newbies out there, just so you know, I do not approve of the filming of something that didn't happen. Oh, it's a movie. None of it happened. Exactly. That's the point. You're going to ruin verisimilitude by filming shit that didn't
No,
happen.
yeah, but if you're showing a lie though on screen and that, and then it tells you it's a lie,
Well, that's what I, thanks to 4.5 years on YouTube and specifically talking about it to not Brian of the Mr. Brown channel, and actually someone in my chat. See, this is where I like getting picked apart for apparent contradictions because someone in the chat, I don't even remember who it was, I should remember their name because they made a valid point. So, Captain, you hate the usual suspects, but you love the Princess Bride. They're the same. The Princess Bride is also a fiction within a fiction. And I thought, oh fuck, he got me there. So you're
no,
right.
no,
You're right, Jens. No, I'm trying to agree with you. You're right. There's no problem inherently with filming a fantasy or a lie within a story. So the problem is lying about it. So the difference between the usual suspects and the Princess Bride is that the character isn't lying to the other character and the film isn't lying to us. So the Princess Bride isn't lying, good, and the usual suspects is lying, bad. So it's not just the filming of an unreliable narration I don't like, it's using it as a cheap twist at the end. It's not a twist, it's cheating. Ah, you just wasted 2 hours watching a lie within a fiction. You've totally wasted your time, money, attention, and energy. It's your film, motherfucker.
well, man, the premise of the Usual Suspects. Yeah, I never watched it because I know who the fucking Usual Suspect was. Because
Right.
fucking
Well, as long as see
someone,
that's the thing, as long as you know. Basically, I'm no longer saying the usual suspects don't ever see it. I'm just saying don't get ruined by the twist. Basically, it's the one film that I absolutely insist on a spoiler alert. People need to be warned before they start watching that piece of shit that they're watching a 2 hour movie or whatever it is, where 80% is the filming of a lie told by one character to another, which means it didn't happen even within the movie. Now, if you know that and you still want to watch that shit, good for you. So yeah, you're right. It's not doing it that's the problem. It's lying to the audience and using it as a twist at the end.
yeah, because like fucking, as I say, when it came out, it was only like fucking out like not even a week or something, and someone must have been pissed off with the film because he's Kaiser Sose pointing to Kevin Spacey's character, big black marker. Yeah, well, like I heard that because it was sort of like big news because it spoiled the film for everyone. And
Kevin
like, yeah,
Spacey was the
and so I
awful
never watched the
criminal. What
film.
a shocker.
Yeah, I never watched the film because I knew who fucking um, Kaiser Sose was. So what's the point of watching the film when I know who?
Right, and my opinion is you should only watch it's a lie is not the same as revealing who Kaiser Soze is. But yeah, I mean, basically that Officer Kouyan's got to be the dumbest cop in the history of cops. I mean, what cop arrests someone, goes, "Did you do it?" The criminal goes, "No, I didn't do it." And the cop goes, "All right, then off you go, you dumb cunt." That's the point of being a fucking police officer. You're meant to assume that everyone's lying to you all day, every day.
Yeah, well,
Did
I'd
you do
say
it?
that.
No, I didn't. Off you go then, Sonny. Roll credits. Dumb cunt.
Well, I was
Officer
into my
Kouyan.
masculine action and all, and so I like there is some fucking masculine action bits in it, but as you say, I think it's bullshit, but whatever, and
Yeah.
I don't know because I hadn't seen it, but it never looked like it was full out action. It always looked like there'd be like a lot of fucking talking and like
Yeah, too
suspense.
much talky, and then a boat blowing up at the end. Yeah, there are
Yeah.
some good bits, some good dialogue bits. Yeah, put the money in the sack, you fucking cocksucker. But yeah, but I'm now realizing, even though I officially claimed that The Usual Suspects is the worst film ever made, it's not nearly as bad as The Last Jedi. Because at least, even though The Usual Suspects films a lie and calls it a movie and uses it as a twist at the end, wasting your time. At least it tells you at the end, and that's the problem with The Last Jedi, that even Last Jedi haters haven't figured out. It films an unreliable narration. Well, it films at least two, and it doesn't tell you which one's true. They might both be false. It uses it as a plot point and doesn't resolve it. This is what a bad filmmaker Ruin Johnson is. That's not an opinion, that's a fact. It's bad enough filming an unreliable narration. The real crime is not resolving which one was true, if any. Ruin Johnson, you are never coming back to Star Wars, but then again, neither are the customers.
Fuck that. RP up. Let women in. You let women in fucking using lightsabers. Original. No women ever use lightsabers.
Oh, is that the problem? Well, Katy Perry's now using a double-ended lightsaber on stage.
All I'm saying is once women got hold of lightsabers, that's when it started going down.
Now you mention it, because you get Han Solo, not a Jedi Knight, using it, of course. But I thought they smelt bad on the outside. You never see Leia wielding a lightsaber until episode 9, which isn't canon. But then neither 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, or 8. Yeah, good point. I would like to have seen Princess Leia wield a lightsaber in the original Star Wars 1977. Oh well.
No, we wouldn't have.
Mind you, if you're following the Disney canon, they're not even dangerous now. You can get stabbed in the arse with a lightsaber. You'll be right as rain in 5 minutes. Couple of stitches, plaster, boom, you're good to go.
Yeah, just a little boo-boo.
And tying canon retcons and time travel together, I still can't believe that time travel is now canon in Star Wars. What next? And/or season 3, they actually don't blow up the Death Star. What the actual fuck? Time travel canon in Star Wars. Fuck off, film.
Yeah, well,
time travel, Jens. It's canon in Disney Star Wars. What the fuck?
Well, you take the piss out there. It was like, oh yeah, we'll let women use a lightsaber. Now we can do time travel.
Might as well. What next? Parallel universes. So there's two Kirks. There's going to be two Luke Skywalker. But again, that would have worked. I like the two Kirks. I would have liked the two Lukes. The Jake Skywalker. See, that would have worked. They actually should have made a second universe.
Bitches. They fucking ruin the entertainment because they're so fucking soy. But there's all masculine action out there. It's just not going to be anywhere near fucking these soy-head bitches, which is good.
What about feminine action? What about the new not John Wick film? Was it Ballerina? You going to be watching that, Jens?
Oh my fuck. There's going to be a lot of shit.
I'm quite interested. It's got Keanu Reeves in it, as well as Ana de Armas.
So it was like when He-Man and She-Ra did the film. I've never seen that.
Okay, well, I see, because I liked Mad Max Furiosa, so based on that template, I think I'll like Ballerina. Did you watch and enjoy Furiosa?
No, oh, shit. I never. No, I did. No, I never watched. I watched Fury Road, Mad Max Fury Road, which was fucking about the same.
Yeah, I like them both. No, I've seen both, but in the release order, I've got to watch. I want to rewatch Furiosa and then Fury Road because that's the correct order. But then that's got something I don't like, which is switching up the actor. But never mind.
It's side as fuck.
I mean, they're both good. I like Anna Taylor-Joy in Furiosa.
Bitches, innit? It's for someone who isn't masculine enough to watch Reacher. Which
I think
fucking Tony tried to make out he fucking watched it, which he hasn't. The side cunt.
Oh yeah, because you guys were talking about Reacher. I thought it was about a guy trying to get something off the shelf.
Yeah.
I was wrong. Yeah, I haven't watched Reacher.
Oh, good fucking like series for masculine action.
Well, after Accident Man and Time Cop 2, you can put Reacher on the old shopping list.
Oh, well, you got 3 seasons, even though there's only like 9 episodes per season.
It's got to be better than that fucking Dexter that Jessica made me watch.
Just as good to me. I like them both.
Okay.
Hey, so you watched all the
There's a
Dexter
few things.
then?
There's a couple of things I didn't like about Dexter, but as you know, I'm just not a fan of the old fucking voiceover. I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck what anyone's thinking.
Oh, a lot of it.
If you want to tell me what you're thinking, start talking. Have him talking into the tape recorder, thinking.
Well, most of it though is sort of like where he's sort of like doing his own diary or whatever. It's
See, that would have been
he's doing
better.
his own diary. So like, yeah, but there is, as you say, there's them bits where he will be talking where he is thinking and that. So he's they're letting the audience know what he's thinking.
I don't like it in Dexter. I don't like it in Dune. I don't like it in Blade Runner. There's a subtle difference. There's a difference between a voiceover and their inner thoughts. I mean, that's another question. When you hear a voiceover, what is the voiceover? Is that the character talking into a tape recorder off screen? Is it the thoughts inside their head? Because in Dune, the voiceover is actually internal monologue. It's just what they're thinking. Where with Blade Runner, it's just Deckard yapping his flap. And of course, in The Hateful Eight, you get a voiceover from the director. I thought I'd fucking press the button for the commentary track, and I remembered I was in the cinema. You're halfway through the movie, and suddenly you got Quentin Tarantino explaining what the fuck's going on. Okay, so this character's had a coffee, all right, but the coffee's poison. What the fuck, Quentin? Just let me watch the fucking film, you talking cunt.
Yeah, I didn't see that version.
There's only one version. How drunk were you? In Hateful Eight, there's a fucking voiceover from Tarantino halfway in the movie. There's 2 versions of Hateful Eight, but both of them have got the Tarantino voiceover. What are you talking about, Jens? You don't remember the voiceover? Can you hear yourself, Mr. Jens?
Yeah, no, I can't. I fucking can't.
I think you better rewatch it, and then maybe you can tell me if the fucking snowy blowy dingus scene happened.
Yeah, well, it was a bit boring.
I quite like it. It's a grower. I like Walton Goggins. No, that's like a bunch of politics.
It was like 2 hours worth of like not much action until fucking Kate Russell gets poisoned, and that's when like a bit of action goes down.
Yeah, it gets pretty violent then. Yeah. No, I like Hateful Eight. But then my tastes are changing. The films don't change, but you do. Because Jackie Brown's going up my Quentin Tarantino's best movie charts. When it came out, I thought it was the boringest one, but I think it's actually pretty good. And it's not written by Tarantino, so there's something. So actually, now you mention it, I think I'll just talk myself. I'm looking at a poster of the Hateful Eight, but I might be. Note to self: rewatch Jackie Brown. But Jens, I'd like you to rewatch Hateful Eight. Listen out for the Quentin Tarantino fucking monologue, because he's not even a character in the film. Oh, actually, he is later, but he's not the character. He's himself. And I like your opinion on the Snowy Blowy. Did the dingus scene happen, or did it not happen, or is it a combination? It did happen, but not that way.
Yeah, I can't promise anything because I say the April. When I watched it, because I know it was going to be a decent film. It was Tarantino, but I can't say I'd fucking watch it again.
Fair enough. Yeah. Because I'm normally pretty opinionated on most of these questions, but this is one of the top 20 pop culture canonical conundrums. The Snowy Blowy. I just don't have an opinion. I don't know either way. I don't know which way to go.
Well, like when I watch films, if there isn't action every 5 minutes, I'm like,
yeah, I've got certain criteria. If there's not a brunette in the first 15 minutes, I'm out. See Fantastic Four.
Sleazy female brunette.
See, that's why I almost walked out on Total Recall, but luckily Melania started coming in and it was all good.
Well, she's in it in the first fucking 2 minutes. But she has got a spacesuit on. Yeah, you was probably fucking getting into your seat at the time. So.
Yeah, I retrospectively projected the brunette in there. That's why his eyes popped out. Oh, it's you.
Yeah, good impression there, yeah.
Best Arnie quote ever.
Yeah, because he's in a bit of distress, which you would be if you haven't got no oxygen and the fucking atmosphere is fucking pulling your ass out.
Exactly. I mean, I've been to a few parties with no atmosphere, but not a planet.
Yeah.
If I want to go somewhere with no atmosphere, I'll listen to the Anti-Derivative Jill show. Know what I mean? Come on.
Well, it has got an atmosphere, but it's side as fuck with Scotty.
It always picks up a bit as soon as someone gets angry because of something that Scotty said. It's almost guaranteed to happen when it's Tiger Strike. It's so
Oh, that's
fucking
like a
touchy.
gay bar. It's
Gay
like a gay
bar.
bar. Fucking
I've got something to put in
wait
you.
until the Queen gets
Tequila.
fucking upset with someone. It's all woo handbags. Fucking hell.
I want to start a war.
And that's why I don't walk. I'm sorry, cunts.
Yeah, I had stopped watching the show actually, but then when DVB told us that he was on the show, I thought I better give it a listen. He was actually very quiet for most of it, but it was quite a big panel. And I'll have to ask DVB. It's not for me to say to project, but he sounded pissed out of his head.
Well, DVB fucking, as I say, he hangs around with some side bitches sometimes. So,
But he also hangs around with us. So
yeah. Well, I say I don't know if him and Tony's fucking made up.
they
Because
should.
it seemed all right. Yeah, it
Tony.
seemed all right, didn't they?
Yeah, good point, Tony. Forget me. Get DVB on your show. Ask him about the time travel and the Blade Runner and the snowy blowy. I want to see DVB on the Tony channel. He'll leave all the others for dust. They won't know what he's fucking on about. No offense,
Well,
Dave
yeah,
George. You're good.
so he'd have some idea, but
Oh, that's a
still not.
really no. That is a good. I want to see that. I want to see DVB Citizen 333 with Tony talking about time travel. Never happened. It could happen here. I mean, Tony came back this week, didn't he? You've had Tony on your show again. Brilliant. After an absence of many months.
Well, I think he came on to try and fucking tell us to stop hating him, even though we don't hate him.
Yeah, well, now he knows that we don't hate him. I guess that's why he's not coming on. I'm disappointed he hasn't come back on, though. Never mind.
Oh, yeah, well, he ain't gonna come on because we're fucking got too many fucking
Opinions?
sophisticated fucking arguments that they can't fucking comprehend. And
True.
we're not side cunts.
Also true. Yeah.
Yeah, not gonna. It's like you don't fucking enter a fucking room when you know you're fucking gonna look like a side silly stupid cunt. So
We can go pretty intense. I mean, now finally, after 3 hours and 17 minutes, I'm finally calming down a bit and feeling like I've got it all out of my system again. On a practical note, I suggest we go to 3:30 unless some hot chicks show up.
yeah, looking, I'll do a few. I'll do a full fucking 11 and 55 minutes.
If hot
11
chicks
hours,
show up.
55 minutes if some hot birds show up.
Amen to that.
But we
Agreed.
can't afford strippers, can we? Because we don't fucking have enough
Well,
money
I
to.
don't pay for strippers. I like strippers, but they have to like me for me.
Yeah, well, super
Paying for a
chatting don't.
stripper is like going to a restaurant and paying for food that you can't eat. It's ridiculous. You're paying to
Yes,
get frustrated.
well, super chatting doomcock and paying for strippers is fucking. I mean, and
But
Paul,
you're paying for super
like, he's
chat.
a stripper right now. I saw thingy as I saw on
At my age, I'd rather have a paint
his
stripper.
channel.
Come round and help me clean up the room.
Chanel, the tits out. She looks like she's got half decent tits, so I can see why
Oh,
he's
you
fucking
checked that,
paying
yeah?
for them. Well, he ain't gonna get a pair of tits like that for free. He's gonna have to pay for them.
No comment.
Oh, let's bring it up because and all.
Get them to come on as a pair. I mean,
Oh.
Tony and the sorry,
Yeah,
phrasing.
yeah.
Pun not
Tony ain't
intended
gonna
that
let
time.
his fucking stripper bed come on here with
With
masculine
Tony,
men.
that would be awesome.
Tony
Well, she's
doesn't
pretty
want to
smart,
hear his
like most
no.
strippers
Tony
are.
doesn't want to hear his bed giggling, knowing that she's fucking having a good time when he can't even fucking make her smile.
And I think
Unless he
everyone
gives
should
her,
be plus one.
unless he
I think
gives her a
everyone should bring a bird.
fucking a few super chats.
Scotty can
Payments.
bring Jill, of course, as his plus
Jill
one
Jill ain't gonna come anywhere near this fucking channel. I
channel.
don't blame her.
Not when
Well, I
I'm on
don't
here.
blame the poor cow.
They will
She
come
ain't
on.
gonna
They were here last
fucking
August. Remember,
well,
I was here. I left, and they came straight on. I
yeah,
remember
but
Ivan that.
yeah, but Jill knows this is too masculine for Jill. Jill wants to
You might
keep it
ask her about
safe.
time travel, and she hasn't got a
Yeah.
fucking clue, even though she claims
Come
to
on,
be a fan of
keep it
Star
safe.
Trek. Good point.
Yeah, you take that one, Captain.
All right then. So as I was saying, 3 timelines in Back to the Future and no sequels. That's the other thing. Because as I mentioned, when to pick up on the last toilet conversation, when Marty C, Gen C, and Doc B Brown jump into the DeLorean B in timeline C, and go from 1985 C to 2015 C, by going 30 years into the future, they disappear for 30 years, just like Einstein the dog disappeared for a minute by going a minute into the future. So when Doc, Jen, and Marty go from 1985 C to 2015 C, because going forward in time, nice and easy, same timeline. They're in a DeLorean, they're time traveling. So when they get there, they're not there. So they didn't have kids. The kids are in timeline B. Do pay attention. I tell you what, times like this, I wish Dalek 451 was watching this, because no other cunt's going to understand what I just said, apart from DVB. But DVB understands it so well, he doesn't even need to hear it. He can probably just zone out and half take it in, going, I'll tell you what, something I've realised about my time travel theory, which is fact, that I've compressed it into 5 words and expanded it into 100 pages. So if you haven't got the time, money, or energy to read a 100-page book explaining the grandfather paradox, then here it is in 5 words. No to one malleable timeline. There you go. Time Travel Essentials by the Captain. In 5 words. No to one malleable timeline. Now, if that doesn't make enough sense, hence the 100 pages. Like everything else, I go fully binary. You can either have 5 words or 100 pages, nothing in between. But that's all you need to know to start off with. No to one malleable timeline. Therefore, going back in time always creates a new timeline, unless it's 12 Monkeys and that's a closed loop, which I'm increasingly going off.
Well,
And oh, he's back.
yeah,
That's perfect timing. I was going to say DVB's law, but that's only going back in time creates a new timeline. But of course, Jens disagrees with that because he thinks there's 6 off-screen timelines in Back to the Future. It's like a married couple. We have pretty much got to the point where we can finish each other's theories.
There we go. Though. I want my finishing hair theory. Yeah, I got a bad rack.
Is that anyone we know? Oh, is that the screen's too small? Oh, that's Mrs. Stark.
Yeah,
as it were.
Yeah. Have you noticed?
There you go. Get the pair of them on. I mean, her and Tony.
Yeah. Have you noticed the picture of Iron Man? It seems like she's out of reach for Iron Man. It's like, oh, if only I could get something like that. No, you ain't got a chance.
Can you hit yourself, Mr. Stark? Yeah. Although, if they get married next year, you're going to be eating humble pie, aren't you? He's going to be eating hair pie. But yeah,
no.
Come on. No.
Well, that will prove my theory, won't it? If they get married, then there isn't going to be no sex.
You got me.
Yeah, on your own theory and all. So yeah,
true. Never marry your stripper, folks.
That one.
Never marry your stripper. You'll be the only person not having sex with that stripper. The irony.
I know. Have you noticed? Rick from Rick and Morty looks like he's pointing, going, "Yeah, nice rack."
Nice rack, says Rick. Nice Rick, says Rack. Rick and Rack. Brilliant. I'll tell you what, we had some good wordplay today, if not foreplay.
Yeah.
And I like wordplay almost as much as foreplay. I like four words, but not 4 words, unless it's Fantastic Four words. But Fantastic Four is 2 words, so that doesn't work.
Well, all I'm saying is he's paying for them. There's no way she's going to get them out.
He is not.
No,
Don't go making stuff up.
well, he's paying. He's fucking giving her some benefits, and it won't be his cock.
Well, I know, but I like ribbing people. I like ribbing Tony, but I'm not into ribbing people for stuff that they're not actually doing. So no, as far as I'm concerned,
Yeah, he's not doing anything, is he? Because I know he's not doing
genuine professional friendship.
He can't be. Honestly, if he was doing that, then fucking I'll buy him a fucking Hulkbuster suit.
Anything's possible in this world. All you have to do is believe.
He's doing that without paying fucking or giving their fucking promotional fucking benefits.
You're such a cynic, Jens.
Yeah.
You know, when a man and a lady love each other very much, Jens.
Yeah, when a man and a lady love each other, they put their fucking shorts on their channel. Yeah, when a man wants to fuck a woman, he'll put his shorts on his fucking... What?
But to be fair, no one's picked me up on it or called me out on it, but I believe last year I promised that I would have 1 or 2 chicks basically as my bodyguards on YouTube. So I've not managed to do that yet, but that's still my dream. So now I think having a co-host, everyone should have a personal Jill basically, or stripper, or a Jill stripper. Demure and sleazy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all coming together. That's what she said.
Anyway, I think it's his bear because he's got 4 of hair on it. Oh, I think it's 4 of hair.
Oh, I thought he had 4 different birds. It's the same bird. Gotcha. I know. All these white chicks.
Oh, no, because this one looks... Yeah, it looks like... But I know. The end one...
You know how it is with women. Once you got one, that's easy.
I've got to be the same. But anyway, well, I don't fucking know her that well, do I? So...
Well, neither do I. But it's just fun to talk shit. Isn't it, Tony?
But it's definitely on his channel.
Definitely his channel. Check out Stark of Iron now. He's definitely not soy. I'll give him that.
No, he definitely is soy.
He's not soy. Come on, Jens. I thought you resolved that already.
Fucking soy. He's having to pay. He's having to pay a stripper just so he doesn't look soyed.
See, you're twisting the facts to suit.
Well, I say he's giving us some up, and it's not his cock. Unless he's got a chicken factory and he's got eggs or bacon or something. I don't know.
No, I think Tony and Scotty have got the right idea. You need a female co-pilot type thing.
Yeah.
Not to be sexist, maybe a male co-pilot.
Right. Well,
anyway. Speaking of birds, time to go. 3 minutes.
Oh, there we go, though. Okay. Oh, it's not doing that great. Look at this. Okay.
Look at that typography. Could you just not put the word pre on the next line? There's no reason to have it hang. Talk about hanging punctuation. That is just, they can't even do basic typesetting. Pre-order is effectively 1 word. In fact, you could drop the hyphen, and it just looks ugly, stretched out like that. Put in a soft return after the T. Oh, I can't bear to look at it. I'm far too good at typography. My goodness me. You do know that, that's a good thing to end on, because I'm quite impressed that you're following these things, again, in a non-patronising manner, Jens. Do you know that Rippersend has now been found guilty of misprinting two books? Out of how many, I don't know exactly.
Well, I know about the blood fucking period.
Blood Ruth?
Blood period booth.
That's it. That was one, because he tried to sell it as an artistic endeavour, as if it was on purpose. But this new one is apparently definitely a mistake. It was a page. The pages are in the wrong order, not in the wrong order, but left, right. But basically, there's a double page spread. there is not a double page spread. It starts off with the right page, and you've got to turn over, and then the left page is the other side of it, which obviously doesn't make sense. And there's debates and discussions about refunds and postage costs and all kinds of nonsense.
I think that's that blood period booth.
Oh, okay, is it that one? Okay.
Yeah.
I know that's one of them. There's two. The two
Oh,
fucked
right.
up.
Well, there's another one. Yeah, well, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. But there are people that they don't really fucking read the comics, innit? They just stick them in the shelf, and so
no one's going to read those, but especially with that new compilation, not with stories by Az and fucking Critical Drinker. No one reads anything by the Critical Drinker, of course not.
No, critical soy bitch.
Critical liar, exactly.
Oh, well,
plus, but that's another thing to track whether the anthology is getting more money than the Golden Shower. So
yeah, well,
what numbers you got for the Golden Shower there?
86,000. So it's got like about 2,000, and so it's sold. So it's on 3,215. I think if it makes to 4,000, it could. Well, I think I might have to make it to 4,500 to make.
Remember, if they don't make it to 100,000, then Dillard owes Rippleson money, especially for the reprints. That's my theory. They've got to make that 100, otherwise Dillard's in debt.
That'd be real fucking unfortunate for fucking
Dillard's bank balance.
Yeah, the Dillard and Yellow Flash fucking
on 330. I think because Yellow Flash will have 60% of the debt for the unpaid postage for the reprinted document. Right, that's 3.5 hours. Bye.
Yeah, there we go then. Again, it's Clodic says like there's no one to thank really apart from you, Captain.
Hey, I was the only person in the chat. Yay me. Thanks, Captain. Thanks for having us on, Jens. That was awesome.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being on, and like I should be doing another stream. Okay, Tuesdays, so a Wednesday sort of thing. If not, it might be one beforehand.
Yeah. Nice one.
Well, yeah, thanks
everyone. Thanks DBB and Tony on the re-rub. Say hi to Scotty for us.
Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Thanks.
See you next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Cheers. Pants on. Pants off.
And ending stream.